Hello, everyone. I am testing the multi-stream chats. Looks like it's not working. Um, but I think you all can hear me, hopefully. And we will start soon. I'm just making sure everything is good to go. Okay. Oh, there you go. At least I got my notification this time. Was cheated 2 times ago. All right, I think we're good. I can see the multi-stream chat. I think. Let's see if it's losing. Okay, I think if I leave it open, I'll be able to see everyone. There's Dex as a member. What's up? Oh, you stayed up late this time. Thanks, man. Thank you for staying up. We're gonna start soon. Everyone who's watching right now, feel free just to say hi. I just want to make sure the chat is reset so I can read everything and I won't miss anything. So feel free to say hi. Hello, hello. What's up, Hershey? Too. I'll say hi to y'all as well. I'm gonna test on my end for my Twitch chat. Hopefully this works. Why is Twitch broken? Great. Where's the chat? Okay, I'm gonna do this manually. Let's see. Why, man? Come on, Twitch. Be better. I can't click anything on. Okay, this is annoying. Let's just manually go to my channel and try test chat. Okay, it pops up for me too. There you go. What's going on? First time watching a live chat. I can only make intermediate level mods and don't understand a lot of stuff, but I love your channel. Oh, great. Well, that's what my channel's for. I'm glad you're learning a lot, and hopefully you can learn even more. Oh, learn even more. And thank you, Hershey, for helping me test the Twitch chat as well. Okay, I'm gonna close out of that. I think we're good to go. Welcome everyone. Janata, hello, hello. Daydreaming, hello. William, greetings. The Brick, hello, hello. Spot, still on the starting logo. Yep, it is still on the starting logo. I think it stopped looping. Hopefully that's okay. Let's try this. So hopefully everyone can see me here, and hopefully the chat box is working. And we'll see if this is okay. Remembered to watch your stream this time. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we got people in. All right, I think excellent connection. Awesome. I think Twitch is struggling a little bit, but should be okay. So hello everyone. Today we have a pretty exciting stream. So let's see everyone getting in here. I'm going to drop a message quickly in the Discord just in case anyone else missed their notification. And then we're going to get to it because it's a really exciting stream. We have some cool stuff to review, and I'm excited to share with all of y'all. And I think since um, we are going to be in the Discord a lot. If you aren't in already, I will have a pinned message. Now, this link only works for this week, and you need to be over the age of 13. So let me see where I can put this so I can pin it. We'll put it in YouTube chat. Join the Discord here. Need to be age 13 plus. And that's the link. And then we can pin it. What's the new design? We are going to talk about that in a little bit. I will share, or I might share that when we get to it. So it's not too much going on. All right, I'm going to try to pin this. Again, YouTube also has this terrible UI feature that the emoji thing is in the way of the pin button. So I'm going to wait a little bit and then that message will be pinned. But if you're not into Discord yet, think about joining it. It's really cool. And I've been using it a lot for the streams. Like pretty much every stream we've been going in and just seeing what new folds there are. And this stream, that's going to be the main content. And it's going to continue as a series for the specific thing. So you might have seen the title. There is an origami battle going on right now. It's all in the Discord. I think it's like the biggest 1v1 battle style competition out there. And yeah, it's their round 1 just ended. So we're going to go check that out. And there's some really cool folds. We have some of the participants in the chat right now, such as Dex. Dex is participating. So we get to see what he made in his battle. It's gonna be really cool. Turning 13 next year, that's okay. Just wait. If you join too early, you might get banned. So that's my warning. Don't get banned. So just wait for 1 year and then you can join. But you can at least see what it's like from this stream. I'm gonna have to learn Discord now. Yeah, Discord's pretty easy. Hopefully it'll be not too hard to learn. Just make an account, and I think if you click that link, it'll figure most things out for you. Just don't forget, read the server rules if you join. It's just common courtesy. Be respectful to everyone. Don't bother people. Waller's still fire. I think you got a shot. Yeah, Dex, you did pretty good, man. It's gonna be a close vote. Anise is insane as well, but I think that makes it a good battle. You are doing really good. Hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. People who are just joining in, we're about to start the main content. We're just letting people come in a little bit. But yeah, so while that's happening, maybe I can explain the schedule of what we're actually doing today. So as you can see, we have the death battle review, which is what I just mentioned. And we're going to check out all the 1v1 battles. I forget how many there are in total, but we'll count. And because this is the first round, there's also some 1v1v1s, which are really interesting. And some of those battles are with top-notch designers. So that's going to be really fun to see. And I'm actually going to be making a YouTube video out of the recording from this stream. At least I'm going to try to, and keep that as like a origami review series for the death battle. If you're all typing in chat, you might see yourself in the YouTube video from the chat box. That'll be pretty exciting. But yeah, should be good. But yeah, we'll get after that. I have origami shaping. So last week we did the fake kept empty. And we have another 18 by 18 grid here that I'm just going to collapse and work on shaping. And that's because it's a part of one of the bigger projects I'm working on right now. So that is with the fake head empty, which I finished this one, which I think I showed last week. And I finished another one, which is this. And so you might be like, Boyce, why is it in this pose right now? Like, what does it have to do? And there's going to be 7 of these in total. So 2 out of 7 are done. I'm gonna work on 3 of 7 during the stream, and I'll also explain when we get there what this whole project is gonna be because it's pretty exciting. It's a collaboration in parts, um, potentially a 3-member collaboration, but at least 2 people, me and someone else for now. I have to figure things out and see how much it might cost. But I have the grid folded, I have the pre-creasing done, so we don't have to show any gridding or pre-creasing. It's just be collapse and shaping, which is a lot of fun. And then I get to explain like how I actually did the knees because I've been working on knees a lot. The entire purpose of this project was kind of to give me practice on folding knees because I'm not very good at that. So I have 7 instances to work on shaping knees, which is kind of fun. But you can see at least my approach on how I'm trying to do it. Maybe it'll help you shape your models. And lastly, new design test fold. So that's the last. We'll see how much time we have for this, but here I have 1 test fold. So this is a torso test fold, and you can see it's like small paper and just test fold paper. But I have a new pleat structure here, and this is going to be a character from Honkai Star Rail that's coming out soon. So I'm trying to time finishing this project with the release of that character. So maybe I can grab some traction and then maybe do another Honkai Star Rail collab with some streamer content creator. Who knows? I don't have that much time, so I kind of designed it like in 1 day. And the torso worked with the test fold. I have no idea about the head. I kind of have an idea with the legs and arms, but we're gonna have to see. But yeah, I'll get to that and explain what it is and show the character when we get there. All right, sorry, I went on a spiel there. Let me see some of the chat. What did I miss? What did I miss here? Okay. Hello. Okay, here we are. The only server I'm active in. Yep, somewhat. Oh, Jared, what's up, Jared? Greetings. Voice, are you Christian? Yes. E. Greedy one. Hello. Crease review. All right. And Daniel Brown. Hello. One of the mods from the Discord we're about to check out. Thanks for joining on Twitch. Let's go. All right. So let's get to Discord. So I'm going to go here. I think we're good to go. All right. We can see Origami Dan Discord. I planned things correctly, I think. All right. So let me move my OBS to this side and let me start recording. Last time I forgot recording, so I had to download the entire VOD. But yeah, we should be good now. Any updates on the Sub-Zero design? I don't think I ever folded it. I think I made the crease pattern, but haven't really done anything with that. Or maybe we did do a test fold. I'm not sure. But I kind of benched that one, unfortunately. I don't think I'm going to end up finishing it as a project. I just don't have enough time at the moment. I kind of got myself into a situation where I'm folding. So I'm in the middle of like 3 different designs. I've completed 2 that have potential collaborations. And then I'm trying to do like 1 or 2 more that have like multiple folds before July, which is the origami convention. So I'm a bit packed with stuff. But yeah. Let's get to the death battle though. So, okay, I started the recording. So we're gonna get to the death battle submissions. And if you're part of the server, it's time to vote. So maybe we can check these out in this stream, and then don't forget to vote. There's a voting channel right over here, and you can see all the different battles, and just you click which one you want to vote for. And those are going to be tallied up pretty soon to see who's the winner. But if you haven't done that yet, you should go vote. But yeah, let's go along. We're going to check out, let's see, where should we start? Okay, so I'm going to start definitely at the top of the submissions, but maybe we'll go over the battles first in general. And I should also do like an intro to this YouTube video because everyone here is going to be on YouTube. So that's gonna be pretty fun. What's your next long form video gonna be about? It's probably gonna be this one because ideally it's gonna be the easiest to edit. The next long form video after that might be about the case I have back here. So reviewing all of the origami and books in these cases. And it's kind of like, this case is thousands of dollars of origami. What does it look like? What's all the books that Boyce has collected all over the year? I don't know. Maybe it'll be interesting. Maybe it won't. But that's also going to be a video that I want to do during like a Twitch live, or not a Twitch, just a live stream. I've seen a lot of live streamers convert their live stream content into YouTube videos very easily, and so something like that is kind of cool to show live and cool as a long form video. So I'm gonna try that out. I need to script it a little bit and come up with like how I'm actually valuing these things, because I don't want to clickbait the value of what I have here. So I'm just gonna define some rules for myself and prep that for a stream. It might be the next stream. So there's no stream next week. I'm going to be out of town for a wedding I'm attending. Not my wedding. I'm just attending it. So yeah, I won't have any streams, but then the week after that, I think there'll be a stream and we'll do that video. So that should be pretty fun. Then there's 2 cases. There's like, should be pretty cool. Good question. I've made my head empty, fake, and female in DMs. Okay, let's see. Did you send it on Instagram or did you send it on Discord? And someone tag me here. Okay, Jared, I'll get back to you in a bit. It says don't answer while streaming. Okay, that's so funny. It's probably a good idea. Beersy, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Am I back? Okay. Guessing Instagram. Let's see. Complex origami models, right? Have I folded Naruto by Neelish K? No, I have not. I don't think I got your DM complex origami models. Did you send it just now or did you send it before? Maybe I saw it if it was before. What's up, Mark? Am I late? Not too late. We're just about to start. I'm accidentally stalling, I think. Hershey 2 says, since you designed the origami, you can price it at where. I mean, that's true, but I think like I want like the real value. So my current idea is if I've sold like a version of it, so like the samurais, I've sold tons of those samurais over time. I'll list all the ones I have there at that cost that I've folded. And if I bought a model, so like if I bought it from people, I'll list that price, of course. Or if I've been offered the price but I declined it, because there's one of those in there, then I'll have it at that price. And the rest of them, I kind of just want to do like material cost. So, what does the paper cost? And some of the papers aren't that cheap, so it'll stack up over time. And then honestly, a lot of the cost after the models that I've sold are going to be from the books, because I've got a lot of books. Yeah, I've got a lot of books. So that should be pretty fun. Let's see. Case review will be epic. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun, for sure. And I also don't really know, how many books I have and what the value is. So finding out on stream will be pretty fun. The only other thing I need, I think, for that stream is some way to keep it tallied. So some nice like on-screen counter that I can just easily add to, instead of just some like scrappy looking text box. I'll try to make it look a little bit nicer. And Drayden, what's up? Yeah, hello everyone. What's up, Devansh? Hello. Yeah, we're gonna look at your death battle model as well. Am I married? No, I'm not married. That's so funny. It's funny because the recent collaboration I did with Mr. Pokey when I was in his live stream, there were so many "Is he single?" comments. It is so funny. Uh, no, I'm not married. Um, Steve, hello. Almost got distracted. All right, looks like we got everyone in here. Notifications worked, or at least people saw that I'm live, so that's good. Okay, I think now we can start. Your time has a price. That's very true. I think if I did all the time in here, it'd be ridiculous. Um, but I think I'd get roasted by like random people as well. What's your last short all about? What was the last short? Oh, the I messed up one. Oh yeah, that one did really well. I keep saying I'm gonna start, and I keep getting distracted. But I love the questions from everyone in chat. Uh, so this is the paper from my last short. It's rolled up in the tube right now. I had to roll it up when I did the flip and then open it. Honestly, that took like 7 tries to get the right angle. But this paper I think is going to be used for um, the new design test fold that I have listed on stream. And I'm not going to fold this today as the test fold. I'm going to use a smaller sheet to test fold first. But I think this will be the final fold, maybe, or just the first test fold of the full thing. Um, right now, the design is only a 36 grid. So this is totally big enough for it. Um, yeah, we're gonna see. But I think that's the plan. I know I asked people what I should make with it. um, I wasn't planning to fold people's actual request. It's just kind of I wanted to see what people thought I could make, and there's a lot of people gave some interesting, um, options, I should say. Some were good, some were not so good. um, but this kind of falls into like all the video game characters that people were interested in. And I think someone said Gundam in there, and like what I'm folding here, it's close to that. So I'm gonna have to see. Um, Someone else said like film or fold yourself doing a backflip. That's actually this project. So it's I'm kind of doing it. But yeah, so I'm gonna actually be using some of those comment ones that are actually what I'm folding, and I'll probably use that in the next videos as well. But yeah, that video did amazingly well. So not trying to flex or anything, but my TikTok, it had been down for like 2 years. Like when I first made my TikTok, I made it because I got hired by a TikTok marketing agency. They're a third party, not TikTok directly, but they are working with TikTok directly to make educational content. And my views were crazy during that period of time, probably because it was affiliated with TikTok. But after that program ended and they paid everything out, my views immediately dropped like crazy. Like so, I was going from like 100,000 views per video to like 100 to 1,000 total. And it slowly climbed over time, but I kind of gave up on TikTok. But this last video, like I think it's like 300 something thousand on TikTok right now, and I haven't had that in like literally years. Um, so maybe I'll start posting all the reels and stuff on TikTok as well, just to keep it up. But yeah, it's at 365,000 right now, which is crazy. I didn't expect it to do well. Even some of my other videos that did well on Instagram and on YouTube, they just wouldn't do well on TikTok for some reason. Um, but the last one, it did well on like every platform, so that's kind of lit. Um, it was. I totally missed all your comments. All right, let's see. Boda's milk, best model. True, true, true. I love Boda's milk. The revive paper. Your last show was amazing. When I first started complex origami, I folded something nice with paper without treating it. Oh man, now I treated it and it's great. True, yeah. Sizing the paper, it makes so much difference. It's crazy. Which of the comments will I choose? I kind of already chose, and I'm just it's more like I'm taking the comments and applying it. Death battle is on origami, Dan. Oh, he's answering someone else's question. Jared, interesting, yeah. Silverio, what's up? What's up? Hey, we got some friends going on in the chat. Let's go. On the seat for vote. Okay, okay. Sorry, I've stalled long enough. We're gonna get to the death battle. My bad, guys. Um, that's 100 times more than I got. Yeah, TikTok's weird. The algorithm is different on that one. Um, I kind of have YouTube and Instagram figured out, but yeah, TikTok still is strange for me. Um, levels very high this year. I want to see Boyce send a case review video to his insurance company. Yeah, yeah. One day it might get. I think I need like an extra zero on the end of all my prices before I need insurance. But maybe one day, right? Maybe one day. Um, how do I feel being a big origami artist? Honestly, I'm not that big of an artist in general. I think it's cool that I can provide a lot of things to the origami community itself, though. So especially at origami conventions, when I get to meet people, I definitely feel, um, I can kind of see the fruitions of the community I've helped to grow. And that's really cool because my first origami conventions, I was all by myself and nobody knew who I was. So it was more like me trying to put myself out there and meet people because I was just this random kid. But now it's a little bit different. I help run the show and I just get to talk to a lot of people and hear what cool stuff they're working on. And that's a lot of fun for sure. Also, having a chat I can talk to on live streams is really fun as well. I like seeing all your guys' chat messages and questions. When I first started streaming, I pretended people were asking questions and would practice responding to them for the day that I would actually have people asking me questions. But that was a very sad time. I had like 0 viewers for a while, and then after a while, I had like one or two. um, so if you see in the chat, like I don't know if Find Simon art is he sometimes pops through. Like he was one of my first viewers, just because he was my friend on Instagram. So it was mostly like the friends I would talk to on Instagram that I would watch occasionally. But now it's a little different. So there's a lot of y'all, whole 33 of y'all that I can chat to right now. So that's kind of lit. Okay, and let's get into this death battle. I'll keep answering your questions, but I at least need to get this intro started, I think. So, okay, I'm gonna go here, and let's turn off the stream schedule for now, and I'm just gonna do like a quick YouTube intro about the um, death battle. I think I might not even use this as the intro, but I'm just gonna start it anyways. And it'll include like an explanation of what the death battle is. We're gonna see if this works. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. All right. Hey friends, welcome to the Origami Death Battle. Origami Death Battle review. Is that what I'm calling it? To the Origami Darren Death Battle. I'm just gonna say to Origami. Okay, this is how YouTube works. I think about it, I mess up, I have to redo it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, restart. Hey friends, welcome to the Origami Darren Death Battle. And today we're going to be reviewing round 1 of all the contestants for what they submitted. For what they submitted? You know what? We'll keep it easy. I'm just going to use the welcome to the Origami Darren Death Battle. Okay, we're going to continue. So, what is the Origami Darren Death Battle? Well, it's a 1v1 competition between origami designers where the two designers pick one topic and they both design something to compete against each other. At the end of the round, the community will vote on which fold is best. And the losers will unfortunately go home, and the winners will compete for a prize going up the brackets till the very end, where one person will reign supreme as the champion of the death battle. Okay, I think that'll work. That's what the death battle is. Maybe we can add some more details. I might not use this, but might as well. So each participant has a set number of days to create a brand new design from scratch that relates to the topic that they think can beat their opponent. Let's see what people submitted for round 1 and who's gonna win. Let's see what people submitted for round 1 and just yeah, let's see what people submitted for round 1. All right, let's go into it, guys. All right, we can use that as our intro. From here, it's just going to be reviewing on stream. Hopefully it's not too cringe, right? Okay. Intros are crazy to do live. That was wild. Um, YouTube voice, am I right? My comment was a request to make HI2 Overwatch Elite. Ah, okay. Nice. So I'm making something from Honkai Star Rail, not Honkai. Is that HI2 is Honkai Impact the second? Not too sure. Well, Honkai Star Rail is close enough, right? Maybe. Time zones match up finally. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so round one is complete. Let's actually check out who is competing in round one. We can see all the brackets here. So let's go to Death Battle. And I think if we scroll up somewhere, maybe it's not here. So in voting, can we see all the Death Battle progress maybe? It's where all the brackets are. Oh, maybe it's in news. Okay, hold on. I know it's somewhere in here. Info? Voting. Let the games begin. Okay, here we are. So for round one, we actually had a lot of people join in. Everyone had to do a preliminary round where they submitted the design just to join. But here's the actual battles. So looks like we have 11 battles, and 3 of them are actually, or 2 of them are 1v1v1s. And we just had to do that to not have a bunch of buy rounds in the future where it'd be kind of strange for the brackets. So round one is what it is. Okay, so first up we have, and I'm just going to read Discord names. So the first battle is Eli versus Warwick. Round two, or okay, I'm going to restart that. All right, for round one, battle one, we have Eli versus Boric. Battle two, we have Paper Forger versus Doryuzu. Round three, we have Reza versus Hot Wheels. Round four, we've got Ruska versus Deleted User. Round five, we have Zafroggy one versus ... Am I saying round? Okay, maybe I'll do this. I was thinking I would say all the battle names and then use that in my video later when we show it. Maybe I'll just do it when I show the folds. Okay, here are the 11 battles for round one. Let's take a look at what they folded. So we'll start off with battle one. And let's go to the voting. I think that'll be the easiest way to see it. But for more detailed pictures, we'll take a look at the individual submissions. All right, so here we have battle one. I'm not sure if this is actually in order, but this is this battle theme was plants, and it is a blue daze vine versus a bonsai tree. And I clicked the wrong one. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, battle one has a theme of plants, and it is a blue daze vine versus a bonsai tree. So here are the submissions. These are really cool. And let's actually see the submission pose now that we can take a closer look. So if we go to Death Battle, they're not quite in order. So first up, we have Reza with the blue daze vine. So it's Reza versus Hot Wheels. And this is Reza's submission. We've got 2 photos right here. We've got just the fold. And then the one that's in the voting is, we've got a hand for size comparison. Reza, this is pretty cool. I assume you might have like thrown up the origami while you took the picture to kind of make a cool little thing, and then cut out the background, and that works really well. This photo is also really nice. Can I zoom on it? That's the other thing I need to do. I forgot to get a zoom program that you can see on stream. But yeah, here we have the blue daze vine. So Reza, maybe you can inform us in chat. I assume this is a type of flower. I'm not exactly sure the significance, but maybe you can tell us the significance. But yeah, it totally fits the theme of plants. We've got natural color change going on. I can tell it's a box pleat model because we can see some of the grid lines that are in the leaves, and just the overall structure of the leaf is kind of a regular box pleat looking flap. But we got some special stuff going on for the middle of the flower, and then the natural color change in the stem and the leaf. So that's very nice. But will the showing of the grid affect voting? Generally, seeing grids, extra grids on the surface might detract from some of the cleanliness. We'll see what people think. But very nice submission. Let's go to Hot Wheels 420, who submitted the bonsai tree, I believe. Is that right? The bonsai tree. That's right. Okay, let's see where it is. Here it is. This is by Hot Wheels 420, bonsai tree. Once again, totally fits this the theme of plants, and we have a little explanation here. So it's one square sheet. One side has two colors, blue and magenta, and the other has one. Okay, so this is interesting. And this is a way to get three colors with just one square. Where okay, we'll use this as an example. Right. So normally with paper, you have like one color on one side, one color on the other. But in this case, the colored side is split into two colors, where the bottom half is, in this case, blue, and the top part is magenta. So I think that's a totally valid way to do a triple color change, just for presentation. And then I like that Hot Wheels explained it so that people aren't confused. They're not going to think, oh, this is cheating or anything. It just makes sense. It's a natural color change. It just happens to have used that method of adding another color for the base. Totally fair. And that is really, really impressive that not only do we have the tree, the trunk, the color change leaves, but the whole bowl or pot is color changed and shown as well. So this is really cool. It's like a 3D model. Once again, it is using a lot of box plating. I can see the use of grids, some of the pleats to make the round pot. But overall, the structure is really different because it is 3D. It's not like a flat axial model. And then they were even able to use a lot of the layers that make up, the trunk as texture. So I think that's pretty smart. We have the color change leaves over here. Maybe I'm a little bit picky on bonsai trees, but I wish there was a little bit more leaves. But overall, very, very cool and neat color changes there. Oh yeah, okay. This disclaimer, I'm gonna be kind of tough on these folds, or at least I want to be a little bit tougher. Since they're meant for competition, I think it's totally valid to judge these, pick out what I don't like about them. And it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not influencing any judging here. It's all up to everyone else. But these are I'm going to be a little picky. I'm not going to say everything's good. If it's a little messy, I'm going to say it. Yeah, but still, even with this battle, like, the quality is very high. There's a lot of like intense battling going on, and I love seeing that. Let's see. Okay, Reza hasn't added anything about maybe he's not here anymore. That's okay. Well, we have a flower versus a bonsai tree. Both are really cool. Both use color changes. Let's get on to battle number 2. All right, battle number 2 has the theme of cyborg animals, and we have a cyborg walrus versus a leopard with metal jaws and front legs. All right, so let's find those in the submissions. And let's look for the first one, which is over here. All right, so this is by Eli. This is the cyborg walrus versus Boric. Let me get some water real quick. Oh, interesting. Okay, my multi-stream chat died. That's why I didn't see anyone. Okay, hold on. Go to info, deleted users, Faraz. Okay, I'm sorry, Twitch. Streamlad's multi-stream chat is just not working for me. So I'm just gonna look at the YouTube chat. I think I missed some stuff. Um, you guys are being too kind. Okay, where's the last thing okay, daydreaming. That's Reza. Reza pinned in. Oh, you guys were helping me out, and I was just not seeing it. Okay, my bad, guys. The chat was open in browser and zoom in. Maybe, but browser is a little bit risky for some of the Discord channels. Um, but like I want so this is from a video game coach named Woohoojin. He's got like a screenshot software where he can like draw on it and zoom in and stuff like that. I want that because I want to be able to like draw and stuff too. So basically a snipping tool, but as a program that I can just have running on my stream. So I don't have to like open and close it all the time. Reza, I'm cooked. Oh no. This one I feel like they both don't fit the theme. Okay, so we're gonna see about cyborg animals. Do they fit the theme or not? Fishing line pinned in DB. Oh, okay. Okay, maybe Reza didn't explain the significance of the flower. Did he? Makes voting more tense. Okay. You're not cooked, Reza. Yeah, no, Reza, I think it's fair. I think it's a fair battle. Structurally, the design of the bonsai is very, very impressive, potentially more complex than yours by a margin. But we'll see if people pick out the cleanliness as a factor, or it doesn't quite look like a bonsai tree because there's not enough like leaf to branch ratio. We'll see. We'll see what people like more. It kind of depends. Okay, so let's go to battle 2, which is cyborg animals. First up, we have Eli with the cyborg walrus. We have some chat thinking it might not fit the theme of cyborg animals. Now, I am not fully sure what a cyborg animal is, but from my assumption, I want to see something robotic combined with like an animal shape. So we need to see something that looks robotic. In this case, here's our walrus. It looks like a walrus head. These are the tusks, and here's our head, I'm guessing, on a human-like body, which is interesting. And this is maybe using the split up edges of the leg to maybe look like wires or something like that. But I guess cyborg is potentially human as well. Like a cyborg in general is a robotic human. So this potentially fits the theme. I think what makes it hard is that it's hard to understand what is fully going on. And yeah, that might be hard to tell with everything else. I guess the walrus head is a walrus head with like a robot eye, but does it sell it enough, or do I have to draw some creative strings to understand that? Not sure. So this one's a little bit rough for me. But we'll see, as it, only matters with what it's battled up against to. So let's go to Bork's submission, which was leopard with metal jaws and front legs. So here we have a more approach of just an animal itself. Now the thing is with this one is it's kind of the opposite. You can tell it's an animal, but it doesn't match the cyborgness much at all. I think the only extrapolation I could pull is that maybe because there's color change and it's black paper, that it has metal jaws. But that's a bit too much of a stretch for me. So I wish even with the color change that they would have used something more, metallic looking, maybe a gray. There's tons of shinier, or you can make it look like a weathered, like a rust color metal, just anything that looks a bit different than a yellow unryu with black tissue, which is just commonly used for animals. So for that, it falls short a little bit to me. Also, leopards have spots, so I don't see any spots here either. but at least it does look like an animal. So this one might be a little bit tough. We'll see what people like better between this and the Cyber Wallers. But yeah, for me, both fall a little bit flat, which is okay. You know, they're trying. That's good. And they're battling, but we'll see which one comes out on top. Let's go with battle number 3, which is the theme of authority. And here we have Paper Forger versus Doriyuzu. And this one is kind of a heavy hitter battle right here. Forger has made it to the finals of the death battle, I think multiple times. And I can't remember if Forger has I think Forger's won before. I can't exactly remember if it was the last one or the one before that. But I think Forger has a championship, maybe 2. I probably should know this, but I can't remember. But yeah, Forger is a heavy hitter here. Now let's see their submissions and see what it is, because Forger is going up against a very skilled opponent. So let's head on over. Let's take a look at his Paper Forger's submission first, which actually is a penalty. So Forger submitted late. Now I got to see a test fold, and I believe he finished the first version maybe a day before the submission, and then folded this one with the correct color changes a day and 22 hours after it was supposed to be submitted. So there is a vote penalty if you're late. You know, we had too many late submissions last time around. So there is a penalty for submitting late. So that's going to hurt Forger a bit. And I think the fact that Forger didn't have as much time to spend on this might affect him as well. But let's take a look. He designed Farina, or Focalors, the God of Justice, from Fontaine. And that is from Genshin Impact, the game. Now, I personally am a big fan of the character Farina from the game. I have built that character, and it is in the top 4% of built characters of Farina in I think in the world, according to the database. So in terms of the video game, I know the character very well. Now in terms of Origami, let's see what Paper Forger's done. So let me see actually if I can pull up a picture of Farina and we can compare. So let me do this. Let's go to studio mode. Let me try to open up an image. Okay, and then I think I have a picture of my Farina, and I'm definitely not trying to flex my top 4% Farina right now. But I think I have the picture with the stats. Okay, let's see. Does this work? Image. Okay, let's move this so we can see it. See both. Okay, let me crop this. Okay, so this is Farina. Let me crop this in. Okay, so you can see, right? Top 4%. Top 4%. That's me. That's me. Okay. Sorry. I know this is very nerdy. Okay, let's put the stats away and just have this side by side with a triple crown. Yeah. I don't know who plays Genshin Impact in the chat, but if you do, let me know who your favorite character is. Let's see. Yeah, the color changes are really nice. That is very true. Forger is insane with getting color changes. Like, let's take a look at some of them. So, actually, Farina has 2 different skins. I guess right now she's in dark mode. But if you invert it, then the light mode is what Forger, light mode, dark mode. Light mode is what Forger folded here. So we can't knock him for like the mismatched color changes. This is actually one of the versions of Farina where she's wearing white instead of like a dark blue. But the buttons are like the button layouts are basically the same. And so that's one thing that Forger already has here. He color changed some buttons. He color changed the ribbon. He color changed like the small tie of the ribbon. Obviously, we have her hat, um, and her two gloves, as well as the bottom part of her shorts are all color changed. So there's just so much color change going around in various spots. It's very hard to color change things in the middle, and even just like flipping between the colors. So right, we have like white, blue, white, blue, white, blue on top, blue on the side for her coat, blue of the sleeves, white for the hand, blue for the back of the coats, white for her face and hair, and then blue for the hat. So it's kind of a crazy structure for sure. And this is like one of Forger's signature things. However, however, I can see Forger's lack of time starting to come through because a lot of times he'll try to do like a button and it'll be round. But in this case, they're just little triangles. Same thing with some of the details here. He's kind of doing a minimal folding for these color changes. And I think that's just shaping that he wasn't able to do. Also, the ankles here are pretty tiny. So I think some of the proportions, maybe it's just the photo, but I think this is just lack of time for being able to shape, as the leg proportions were not ready to go. But overall, I think it represents Farina and it matches the theme. So good job, Forger. But we'll see how you do with a lot pressing against you. Okay, so let's take that away. We can take a quicker look at some of the close ups for the buttons. And you can kind of see what I mean. Like this one looks a little bit more thought out. We have like triangles and circles for the pocket. So it's an actual pattern. But over here, when they're trying to be buttons, it's just squash folds. And it's hard to, it's a little rough. If they were round and look like buttons, I think it would work a bit better. But good job, Forger. You know, I'm a fan. It's Farina. Maybe it's a little biased, but yeah. Now let's check out Doriyuzu's submission, which was on time. And Doriyuzu folded Napoleon from Animal Farm. So I'm not sure if that is a book some of you were required to read at school. I personally didn't read Animal Farm, I don't think. But I assume, you know, from the name, Napoleon was like in general, if something's named after Napoleon, it probably exerts authority. So I think it works there. And here we actually have like an action model. So I'm going to take you through. This is the voting photo, but it's not just that. So we have, it's actually wearing a mask. And I think this is a pig mask. So maybe this shows the sequence, right, of pulling off the pig mask to reveal the human instead. And I think this has something to do with the Animal Farm story. Maybe this Napoleon character was tricking the other animals that he was one of them, when in reality he was in control the whole time or something like that. I don't know. I haven't read the book, but that's the vibe I'm getting from seeing this. So already in itself, that's pretty cool to do an action model like this. You don't really see this in origami too often, especially not with like a mask uncovering type scenario. There's folds with putting on masks, for sure. But then that's kind of what you see. But here, I think the details of the color change in the mask and on the person is something to note. Um, and even here, like we can see the hands and the feet are pig like, their hooves. So yeah, a lot of details been done on this model itself. And I think it works pretty well. I think one thing that's getting me though is we have the red color, but the black paper on top. Um, I don't know. I can kind of see the brushstrokes of the acrylic paint. To me, it looks a little bit messy. Maybe it's just because I don't know the character, and maybe the character's suit is actually like kind of dirty and muddled. Maybe that works out. I'm not too sure. I'm just kind of being nitpicky here. But overall, this is a really cool fold. I wish the neck line right here wasn't showing, and that, you know, maybe it wasn't quite as long, proportion wise. But it's hard to kind of say anything bad about this just because of how conceptually cool it is. So the Doriyuzu with the Napoleon fold, very very nice. And I don't know who's gonna win. This is a very close battle. I think what is going to hurt Forger a little bit is the fact that he's late. So even if the votes are tied, um, Forger might lose out just because he has that penalty. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, next battle. We have the theme of flight. And this is a person throwing a paper airplane versus a shoe bill. Let's check out the submissions. So, paper airplane or person throwing a paper airplane. Let's find it, and I'm going to pause so I can read chat a little bit, see what your reactions are. Oh, okay, yeah. In kind of context, this was Forger's previous fold that wasn't late, but was the wrong color change. And like I said, here you can see he did the legs and the ankles with proper proportion, whereas in the final one, it was really lacking compared to this. So yeah, unfortunate on the timing, but yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the... Okay, person throwing a paper airplane by Ruska. We can read the description a little bit. So it's a hand of a dwarf in the forest. Okay, throwing his first airplane. Related to world record paper airplane. Okay, I'm not sure if this is like background story or if this is just a story. Wow, there's like context there. Okay. So I'm not gonna fully read this, but if you want to read it, you can check it out. Here we have person throwing the airplane. I don't think this photo is that great to show what it actually is. I can see the hand and I can see that it's gripping the airplane, but it's hard for me to make out the airplane itself. I think this is like the wing. I think this is just like a normal paper airplane, right? And then this is like the stem that you throw, and then the other side of the wing is over here. But at first glance, it's really hard to tell. The orange paper just blends too much in, and I've folded this airplane before, and I think the wing should be a little bit bigger here. It should be tighter. The stem of the airplane, I don't know if that's what it's called, but the thing you grip onto, if that's bigger than the wings, it's not going to fly very well. So, the aesthetics, it's a little tough in this photo to tell, but cool concept. It does match the theme of flight, and I like the out of the box thinking, but the execution is just lacking a little bit from my end, and also the presentation of the photo. Like, I wish we got a little bit more photos, at least, of the other side, so we can see the airplane and the hand on his own. But that's the person throwing the airplane. Now let's check out the other submission by Fares, which is the shoe bill. Let's find a shoe bill. And I like shoe bills. Okay, let me read chat. I think I totally forgot to read chat. Reza. The significance of his flower was that he liked the structure of the vine and the contrast between the blue and the green paper. Okay, nice. Complex origami models. Can I join the battles? You can't anymore. It had the signups, and they happened a while ago. So you can't join anymore, but you can wait for next year and keep tabs around this time of the year, and that's when it starts. Where? In the Discord, which I didn't pin. Oh my goodness, I didn't pin it. I meant to pin it. Okay. Here. This is the pin message. Oh, I have to go on YouTube to pin it. Hold on. My bad, guys. My bad. I posted it meaning to pin it, and I just didn't do it. Okay, let's see if I can find my own message. I don't think it goes back far enough. Great. Okay, let me copy my own message again and then post it here. I think that one works. And then I have to wait for someone else to type. Or maybe I'll just send myself emojis so I can pin it. There you go. All right. That should be good. So there's the again, make sure you're over the age of 13. Don't join if you're not, otherwise you can get banned. You don't want to be banned. So just wait until you're age 13 if you're a little bit younger. And then join. Getting banned is not good. Is it me or am I lagging? Am I lagging? Let me know. I hope I'm not. My software says I'm okay, so I think we're good. Oh, that was from a while ago. I already answered that. Okay, let's go back to the start. Hello, sir. Hello. Welcome. Mas Isa, welcome to the stream. Crafter Eli, the bird will look great with a golden sheet. Um, maybe. I don't know if shoe bills are golden though. I've only seen kind of earth toned shoe bills. But we'll get to that in a bit. It's beautiful. Give a better touch. Okay. Looks stupefied. Squashes are tiny. Okay, so that was about Forger's thing. Silver paper. Okay, I didn't miss too much. Sweet. Drayden. What did I miss? We're just going through the battles right now. Just kind of going through all of them. I'm giving my take on some of these. Yeah. Overall, it's just kind of like a review. And there's been some really good submissions so far, such as this shoe bill. I really like this shoe bill. I think shoe bills in general are cool animals. They're big, and they look kind of funny. But because they look funny is kind of why I like them. You know, big bill. So I think in this case, Faraz has a really strong submission. My one question is: can shoe bills actually fly, or are they flightless bird? If they can't fly, it's I think it still fits the theme, but it's just kind of funny. I'm gonna Google this really quick. Oh, you know what? Okay, they can fly, but only between like 100 meters to 500 meters. So like 500 meters is the max they can fly. Like they don't fly much. They're more sedentary birds. Or Wikipedia says they're what does it say? Does it say they're lazy? Oh, sluggish birds. That's kind of hilarious though. So I like that for the theme. Yes, they can fly, but they don't fly very much. Um, yeah, shoe bills are really cool. I like the color changes here. It's a really aggressive squash fold for the eye, with like a little bit of a raised kind of texture just to get the eyelid. And you don't need much of the eyelid, but even just that little bit, adding the shadow there, I think adds some fierceness to its eye, which I think is really cool. We have another angle here, which is nice, showing that the model is folded pretty cleanly. This looks a little bit like foil, so there are some extra crinkles that aren't favorable, but for the most part, the design itself isn't mushed. It's a structural um, shoe bill, and yeah, I think this works really well. Um, nothing overly crazy. I think if anything, it's shaped really nicely and curved and rounded, except for the toes a little bit. Those are just kind of left on their own, even though there's like a nice rounded ankle and everything. I don't know what you could do there. It just kind of stands out a little bit to me, but overall, it looks awesome. Jared, yes, they can fly. Yes, not very far. That's really funny. I think that's hilarious. Great submission. Great top or great model for that topic. Yeah, Faraz, you did a great job. I'm a fan of your 2D color change models. So good stuff. Good stuff there. Okay, let's get to the next battle. We gotta chug through these. We're getting through them. Okay, so here we have the next battle, which the theme is flying bugs. And let's take a look at these. So we have a white-tailed dragonfly, and then we have Ant-Man on a flying ant. That's wild. Okay, so let's go to death battle. Let's look for the first one first. So the white-tailed dragonfly. Here we go. White-tailed dragonfly, designed by Zafroggy1. So yeah, okay. Theme. This one's kind of easy to fit. You make a bug that can fly. In this case, we have a dragonfly, which definitely flies. White-tailed dragonfly. I'm looking at some of these extra photos here. I don't see the tail being white. Okay, it looks like we have some reference photos in the back here for the white-tailed dragonfly. Maybe the dragonfly doesn't have a white tail, but from the book here, it looks like it actually has a striped tail that has some white in it, perhaps. Unfortunately, we do not see that here. Now, I give credit to the Froggy one. I'm guessing this might have been their first insect design. So props for trying, but execution wise, I think this falls flat. Um, it's using, some box plate structure, but it's very, very simple. And it just doesn't have the elements of like a dragonfly that I'd want to see. So the wings are in the wrong positions. These are just longer flaps that's kind of folded in half, but it's not even stemming from the back of the wing. We have some flaps that are used to try for the eyes. But at the same time, I wish even with this simple structure, you could have rounded them out to look more like dragonfly eyes. I think dragonflies, right? They have those big eyes. It needs to be a big part of what's shown. But and the last thing is, I wish I could have seen a white tail. So if there is a way to color change for the white tail, I think that would have been fair. But thanks for joining in with the submission. Good job competing. Um, keep working out those design skills. Keep practicing. Okay, next the competitor is ... and I featured ... folds. This is okay. They don't have their name on the profile, so maybe I won't say their name just in case they don't want it. But I featured ... in a recent video in his folds, and in this case, this is Ant-Man flying on a flying ant. And so, if you've seen Ant-Man, the Marvel movie, this is designed kind of from that, where you have Ant-Man with his helmets shrunken down flying on an ant, and that is exactly what we have here. This is a superb photo as well, using nature, and then we got the bokeh in the back, natural wooden log, as if this was the size of an ant. I think works super, super, super well. So this is an excellent design. It's kind of a 2-in-1, right? We have Ant-Man, and then we have a flying ant. So I'd say it kind of counts as a 2-in-1. And here we have a 360 of everything. So yeah, I think I'm just impressed in general from just trying this. This is kind of a crazy model to put together. And to execute it so well is awesome. The flying ant legs, right? We can see the joints in the legs. They're thin properly. It's not just one big thin leg with crimps. It's like, got the details. I don't know the names of the insect leg parts, but I assume there's names for it, but they're very nicely done. The abdomen or thorax, right, is pleated. It's shaped. It's not left, just folded. It's carefully rounded. And even though there's a lot of layers going on in the back, ... really tried to shape it down to get just the body form of Ant-Man. And that's really hard. And also to use the face and try to use some tertiary details to carve in like the visor that Ant-Man has. So this is a really strong submission. Shout out to ... This is super cool and excellent photo here. I think this presentation already on its own is like insane. So great job. 500 meters isn't nothing. That's half. Oh wait, 500 meters is okay, but like other birds like migrate like from north to south. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I can't fly half a kilometer, so that's valid. I can run 500 meters pretty fast though. Is the thing. On Google, it looks like it's white tail, brown body, and black with clear. Okay, maybe I should take a look at. I'll Google it really quick because I'm curious. White tail dragonfly. Ah, I see. Okay. So this is a common white tail. Let's go to here. Yeah, it really has a white tail. So unfortunate that it was green paper instead. Oh, excuse me. That sneeze was creeping up on me for like a while. Fizzy, hello. Thanks for joining the stream. It's one of our YouTube members right there. Shout out to Fizzy. We are reviewing the death battle, the Origami Daring death battles right now. So we're about halfway through, I think, maybe a little bit further. We just wrapped up Flying Insects, that had this kind of insane submission by ... But let's get on to the next one. And by the way, if you want to join the OBB membership and support the channel, I think it's pretty awesome if you're able to. We have the community of members over there, and people have been sharing their works in progresses, just some of the design stuff that we're working with, all really, really cool stuff. And I've also provided a lot of my crease patterns that may or may not be on my website. So if you want access to some of those, see if that's something for you. And then I'm always thankful for the support. Okay, so let's see the next battle. The next battle is villains. Okay, villains. General Grievous versus Hanami. All right. This is a good one. So both of them are villains for sure. I think this topic is kind of an easy one to fill. Let's start with General Grievous from Star Wars. This is by The Folder. Folded with 50 centimeter double tissue and natural color change. Okay, so I am going to grab a tissue really quick. That sneeze got me good. So I'm going to be right back, and then we'll take a look at this General Grievous. All right, we're back. Hello. Sorry. Little break. Let me drink some water before we continue. Yes, Twitch subs do get access to memberships. So Hershey, you are a Twitch sub, I believe. Is that right? Streamlabs is not telling me. Let me go to Twitch. But yes, you should get the membership as well. Let me get the link for you. I think I can just go to Twitch and send it to you. Let me see. Yeah. Subscriber. So while you're watching the stream, you can browse the server. Oh wait, is this showing on stream? Okay, hold on. Can't leak it. Hold on. Let me Let me go to this first, or this. Okay. Almost leaked invite link. All right. Should I change my channel logo? I don't know. If you don't like your logo, maybe you can change it to something you like more. Um, okay, Hershey, you are here. Where is Twitch? Let me whisper. Okay, see if that works for you, and let me know. But yeah, Twitch subs do get it. So let's go back to this. Go back to here. Make sure I'm not leaking anything. Discord back to Origami Dan. All right, that was a close call. Well, you guys got to see like a little snippet of the works in progress of the member channel. Needs to be larger. Oh, true. Okay. Yeah, Steve's good with logos. So you can take that advice, complex origami models, and make it a little bit bigger. Okay, let's get back to General Grievous is what we were reviewing. All right. And then yeah, Hershey, just drop a message if you can access the members channels. Okay, so yes, General Grievous from Star Wars with the 4-arm mode, holding 4 lightsabers. So natural color change, 50 centimeter double tissue. Um, very nice, very nice. I think this is a cool model. I like the legs, how the legs are done. This is very General Grievous to me, and I think it's for me, it's almost there. It's almost there. I feel like the proportions is just what's making me hesitant on enjoying it more, and just some of the execution. So I can tell, at least from the face, right? There's a lot of time spent trying to get the General Grievous face in here. I think because of the wear and tear of the double tissue, it's not showing all of the color change, and it kind of makes it look a little bit messy from what the details are. But I can tell, you know, the folder was really trying and has a good start for this head structure, and I think it would work. And I think it would work a lot better if the body and the arm proportions matched up to General Grievous. Um, so we have a level shifter here for the torso. I don't think the level shifter was necessary. I think it makes it too wide. And because the body is now too wide, the arms look incredibly short. Now, perhaps the body actually matches the proportion for the head, but then that would mean we need longer legs, longer arms, stuff like that. So in this case, it might be easier to make the body shorter and then make the head shaping shorter if you're using the exact same structure. Otherwise, I think the structure has to change a little bit, just to show, the long arms and stuff. Because General Grievous has really long arms. He's kind of like a creepy, spindly, or robot dude. And then with lightsabers, they need to be even longer. So I wish we saw that here, but I can tell it's General Grievous. So, and it works with the theme as villains. Very nice. Let's go to the next submission that's battling this General Grievous. So it's kind of fun to say a General Grievous verse Hanami. So this is by MJJ. And Hanami is from Jujutsu Kaisen. So I don't know who's in chat has watched Jujutsu Kaisen, but if you know, you know Hanami's situation. But definitely a villain, and a cool villain in my opinion. I think Hanami's character is pretty sweet. Um, Maybe here, let me show a picture quickly. So people who haven't seen JJK can have some reference. because it kind of matches the photo right here. So this is Hanami. It's kind of like a really muscular guy with tattoos and tree trunks sticking out of their eyes. Is the non lore accurate explanation. And then the arm here is wrapped up. There's spoilers would be to say what's inside, but arms wrapped up. So that's what we can kind of actually see a lot from here, from the submission. It's we've got actually shifted layers for the abs, for the pecs. It's just kind of using like the bodybuilder level shift structure to get those details. And then arms, legs, feet, stuff like that. Obviously, no tattoos here. That'd be really, really hard. But generally, the correct structures. I would say the unfortunate thing in this case is with the head. I think everything else is pretty decent, even this wrapped arm, which they didn't fold all the grid into it, so it keeps it like a clean wrapped cloth. I really like that. But the head here is missing the neck for the most part, and in this case, the head is almost too small, I guess, or maybe because there's no neck, it appears kind of squished. And I think it's because there was some struggle on getting the structure for the tree roots growing out of the eyes, and that was the priority of the structure, but we lost a lot of the head here. So um I would say in terms of like battling, if people don't know the character from JJK, it'd be hard for them to understand what this is, and that makes it just hard in general for voting. So this is kind of, it's cool, but because of the missed execution, it's going to be hard for an audience that's not necessarily seen the show or read JJK. But I think it's cool. It's a neat villain to choose for sure, and I like the structure in the torso. I think this is the best part of it. Just the torso structure, the abs, and then the covering for the left arm here. Text, it almost leaked my new design. Yeah, okay. I'm glad it didn't show the crease pattern. Maybe I'll edit that out of the VOD. Got on Discord. Sweet. Longer upper limbs, and he's there. Yep. That was for the General Grievous. Dex, didn't you post in? Oh, okay. So not leaked. Okay, let's go. Sorry, Dex, that was a close one. Steve says Def could use color change for feet parts and upper torso. True. But that's just because I saw the image. Yeah, true. Like, if it'd be really cool if there was color change. I think that would help sell some of the details, like the trunks out of the eyes and stuff. But yes. Okay, so next battle we have is Steve's battle. So here we have the theme underwater, and we have the funky lionfish versus the attack of the kraken. Very cool. Let's check it out. I love marine origami in general, just because that's kind of what first introduced me to complex origami was Robert Lang's and John Montrell's Sea Life book. So for me, the first complex thing I think I saw was like the black devil anglerfish in that book, which I still never folded, but very cool. So I always just enjoy like sea creatures. But let's check this out. So let's start with Steve's submission. Steve is, let's see, Steve submitted down here. We're almost there, I think. Okay, here we are. Stuck in the fold. Shout out to Steve. All right, Funky Lionfish for Death Battle with a 22.5 design paradigm. Very nice. Okay, submitted yesterday. Compromise. Studied the central spikes for spines for days. Made a lot of progress, but the stick model and size effort was too much. Okay, so there's a little bit of a time crunch for this design for sure. Ultimately happy I designed something as opposed to not. True. True. I'm glad you submitted something. I'm going to continue iterating for what I truly wanted to be. Steve, I think, yeah, I think so. I saw someone else say earlier. I think you're selling yourself short a little bit. Um, I think you're definitely selling yourself short. I'm glad you want to iterate to make it better, and this isn't your your final thing. You're not satisfied with this, but for submitting it, I think it's totally okay. So for one, it fits the theme. It's aquatic, and two, it's cute. I think it's very cute, and you can tell that it's a lionfish. It is missing the central spikes, which is a big thing. Um, I wish that maybe even um, you used at least one of these flaps from the tail and just shaped in the spike up on the top for the fin, like the dorsal fin. I don't know if it's dorsal fin, um, but regardless, like the shape, the form of the fish looks like a lionfish, where it's kind of like chubby-ish, and then it has all these wavy, spiky things for its fins and its tail. Um, and yeah, the cute aspect as well works really well with origami. So I think you're selling yourself short a little bit here. Um, you do recognize that you were time crunched. So yeah, there is some execution stuff even on this one missing. I think this photo, it might have been better not to include this photo where you can see that your folding was not quite symmetrical on both sides. So your shaping on one side did not really match the other side. You probably could have just not submitted that photo and it'd be okay. This photo is okay, a little bit more okay because you don't see it as strongly, but this is a good photo to show the form and the 3D-ness of the fish. It's pretty neat. But this one, it looks really cute. I think you presented this nicely, and then just recognized what it is. And saying funky lionfish works really well. Um, that's I think strategic for not being able to get like a anatomically correct lionfish or something like that. But very nice. Okay, so let's go to who you were battling, which is Tijin. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. That's my bad. Um, but they folded the attack of the Kraken. Okay, so this is I'm just gonna be funny. I don't mean this seriously, but the theme was underwater. This is above water. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This totally counts. It's aquatic. It's a cool kind of play. So Brian Chan obviously has his attack of the Kraken, which is the Kraken attacking the ship. So I assume this is something, the concept was inspired based on that and done differently. So here we have more of the Kraken as a whole, and then on just one of its tentacles is the ship. And it's a much smaller ship here, but using the natural color change to show it. We also have some color change for the tentacles, like the little suckers, which is pretty neat. And yeah, I think that's what I'll say there. I think this design concept is pretty cool, but once again, this is an issue of execution on how it's done that is taking away a lot from the model, despite it having a lot of potential. So I think there's so much potential because the structure has these color changes, but with the color changes, it's made the model a lot thicker. And this double tissue is probably too small for what this model needs to make a better looking fold. So we can even see the paper creeping out from the color change of the boat here, which is not desirable when you want a stark color change to show the boat. I like that the boat has the attempt of showing it has a sail, but at the same time, it kind of takes away, it's blurred into the tentacle, and it's not a clean sail. If you look at like a boat with a sail, this isn't really how the mast works. So it's a little tough there. And then we see all these layers through the tentacles. So um, it the execution is bothering me a little bit, but I think the design has a lot of potential and is pretty cool that there is like the color change suckers on the ends. So yeah, honestly, this battle is the voting's gonna be close. I think it's up in the air. Steve, I know like you're selling yourself short a little bit, but I think it's gonna be really close between this two. This is a pretty good battle for voting. So I'm curious to see who's going to pull out on top for this one. But good job. All right, let's get to the next battle. And okay, we have 3 more. So we're almost there. We're almost there. This one, the theme is chemistry. And this is an explosive beaker versus carbon. Let's check this out. This is interesting. Chemistry can be like a more broad subject. So it's not as, fine tuned, such as like villain or like a flying insect, or something like that. So here we have anthropomorphic ape with a explosive beaker. And so the concept here is that the fluids inside of the beaker are exploding outwards. And I think that's really fun. And here we actually have the crease pattern to show. It's pretty there's not too much going on. It's just I don't know what these are called, but basically using the pleats to make it round. And then we have some color change, which looks like it's just a full pleat through the paper to make the color change. Totally valid. And then using the edges and the outside to make the color on the other side. So I think this is pretty cool. I think it is also lacking a little bit of execution because of the paper choice. So here we're using Kami. So for one, the color change works. I think the green, white, green works really well, but I can see the Kami wear and tear. So there's like white here. I can see the crumples from your folding. And it looks like a test fold, to be completely honest. And I wish the explosive part was like this top started out really good. I wish it was more to sell the fact that it's an explosion. Otherwise, it's a little bit hard to distinguish it. But yeah, I think this design again has potential. It's just execution is keeping it back, and I think that seems like a recurring theme. So maybe that is something for people who are battling to think about. The concept is very important, the model is very important, but execution also needs to be pretty important. So keep working on those skills as well, because this could be a really, really nice submission if done, had a little bit more care into it. But I like this. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's read chat for a little bit. Oh, those are central spikes. The tail just isn't there. Okay. It's okay, but for now, that's the tail, right? I think it works as the tail. Okay. Thanks. Koi, hola, hello. Welcome, Koi. Greetings to the stream. That's a cool model. I think large paper and compressing the paper with spray can helps this model a lot. And I think Steve was talking about the Kraken one. Yeah, that's true. I think if you put a coat of spray paint, it could hide some of the details, make the color a little bit more stark. But I think it's also just a paper choice with the color change that if you see all the layers, it's already just going to take away a lot of the execution points. Mark, I'm made out of carbon, so I'm a little bit biased. That's valid. That's valid. I think same. I'm also made out of carbon. Mm. That's strategic, actually. Maybe this next submission, they're being smart. They're relating to the audience because everybody voting here is made out of carbon. So that's super strategic here. This is maple syrup, by the way. I featured maple syrup in the Ebok vlog and the Peacock vlog, and you've seen maple syrup fold incredibly tiny things, but still having execution in those tiny things. So like my samurai from like super super tiny paper was one example, and it still looked like my samurai. It wasn't all mushed. So maple syrup has some very skilled hands, and here we have an original design for chemistry, which is carbon. This and it's literally like the carbon periodic table sign, atomic number, and I forget what this is called. The was it number mass? The number of neutrons or electrons? No, the number. This is electrons. neutrons, protons. I can't remember. Okay, but it's basically the periodic table square of carbon done. So it's just a flat fold color change model, and using those color changes for text with foil. I think this is super neat. I wish it was a little bit cleaner still. Execute. So I just said maple syrup is good with execution. I think here it's the foil that is hurting the execution here because of how foil is, right? Its memory is so crisp. If you add any wrinkles, you're gonna see it. And the shiny foil part also just holds all stuff together. So in that case, even the light reflecting is causing the color change to not be as stark. And then we have some things like right here where the 6 isn't super clean. There's some white showing. And then the bright pink is also showing on the edge. And we get some of those wrinkles just throughout the white here, which is really unfortunate. I think, yeah, with, you know, a different paper that has a more stark color change, just could look even more powerful than it is now. But design wise, it is super, super cool, super unique. Um, this is the only one of its kind out of all these submissions where it's using a like a two-dimensional flat fold as the submission. I think, right? Is that right? Yeah, it's the only one. Um, so yeah, that's super creative, stands out on its own. And once again, all the people voting are made of carbon. So this is like a really strategic kind of play. Got to give a shout out to maple syrup for that one. Very smart. I enjoyed a lot. This is a cool battle with like honestly the topic chemistry is just really cool to do a battle on. You don't know exactly what you're going to expect, and we got two origami models that kind of, used color change to get their point across, which I like. Okay, let's go to this battle. This is the first of our battles that is a 1v1v1. So it is a little unfortunate that we had to have 1v1v1s. It's not ideal, but it's going to save a little bit of headache later on. But unfortunately, it means that two of these um, designers do not get to continue. But let's check these out. So here we have a mata mata turtle versus a frilled necked lizard versus a Philippines sailfin lizard. Let's check these out. After I drink some water. Second fold. One more so hairspray that just helps wet the paper. I saw Kimuro do it. Oh, true. Yeah. There's hairspray, and I honestly MC will be fine too. But there is the dark tech is what I would say is hairspray. But yeah, paper compressibility too. The paper itself needs to compress. So double tissue doesn't always compress as much as some other papers, or when it does compress, it's you can kind of tell. But yeah, if you use a combination of like something to hold the memory of the paper or something that adds to the compressibility, like MC, then that helps with layer manipulation for sure. Atomic weight. That's what it is on the carbon. Thank you, Jared. I took like what's it called? STEM chemistry in high school. That was like the more advanced chemistry class. I did really well in it. And then I never took chemistry related classes again, and I've forgotten all of it. It's really sad because I think I enjoyed that class. But yeah, it is how it is. Okay, so let's check out this battle. We've got three very, very cool submissions. So let's check out the Matamata turtle first. And we can head on over to the Matamata turtle, which just so happens to be the very first submission of this death battle. So shout out to David for submitting first, being on time, first one up with a fire fold and submission. So once again, reptiles, it's a theme that fits very well. We even have some crease patterns that we'll take a look at. But let's see this Matamata turtle. If you are unfamiliar with a Matamata turtle, I'm going to pull up a picture because you will see that this very much matches that specific type of turtle. It's kind of an irregular looking turtle, if I must say so myself. Let's find a good picture of it. Okay, I think this one works enough so you can tell at least the outstanding feature of the species. So it's got the long snout that is kind of flat nosed and then has some like ridges along the neck. Um, so it's not like what you would think of like a loggerhead sea turtle, where it's like, oh, pretty turtle, round, Finding Nemo looking turtle. This one's a little bit more um, like camouflaged into its environment, and that's what we see here. So we see the flat nose, or the flat head with the long nose and the ridges along. Very organic shaping from David, but very defined. So it's done without a lot of mushing. We can see each detail here on the shell. And then even some of these like 3D pleats that are used to create the shell textures, it works as the shell that you would see on an actual Matamato turtle. And it's shown in a way that it's not confusing. Like the crumpled lines or the pleats, they don't interfere with the overall shape of the turtle. And so we can see that in some of the other photos, right? So we clearly see the legs, they're round, they're not flat. Even the flat head has volume that matches the real turtle. And then we can clearly see the border of the shell with the ridges as well as the tail. So here we have like an anatomically correct Matamato turtle. I think that's really cool. It's photographed on a piece of like slate. So there's good contrast in the photo as well. So presentation, execution, got points for that. Even has closed belly. And this right here, this photo, you might be wondering, why do you need a photo of the underside? Well, for voting, um, David is catering to some of the probably more advanced origami designers and folders who appreciate designs with closed belly. So it's kind of like an origamist thing. If you were not a folder, you wouldn't really care that it has a closed belly. But as a designer, you see a closed belly and you're like, that's refined. So very nice here. That gets some points even from me for having a closed belly because that's super cool. Um, and here we have the crease pattern, which isn't too crazy, right? So it's a lot of shaping. Basically, the simple structure of using basically two bird bases that are kind of squished together, and then some transition units for the rest of it, and then shaping. A lot of shaping. And I think David did really good job at that. We love bellies. Yeah, exactly. 3D shell parts. True. Yeah, the 3D shell parts too is another thing that's just like crazy, right? It's crazy. So we can see more to lay out here on how it's done. And it's just overall very, very impressive. All right. Let's see here. So that is the Matamato turtle. Let's look at the next one, which was a lizard. Here we are. This is by Baboon. Frill neck lizard. So once again, theme reptiles totally works. And here we have the frilled necked lizard. I am observing it a little bit. Also has a closed belly. Okay, here I think what's honestly hurting this the most is the photography of this. So the photos seem to be taken on parchment or wax paper or butter paper, but it's not even a fresh sheet. So like this butter paper has been, or this wax paper has been folded already. Right, we can see it's folded diagonally and stuff, and then some pleats in the back. And I don't know. It's not working for me because it kind of takes away from what you're trying to see here, which is the lizard mouth, the eye, which are shaped, and then the jaw, and of course the frill. Um, yeah, it's just a little bit of rough. I think other things with this lizard, it's like almost right. I think the top of the jaw is really good. We can see the eye; it looks pretty decent, but the bottom jaw is hinged too far back into its neck. And if it isn't, it looks that way because of how it's photographed. And I wish the frill was just a little bit less messy. So I don't think it's like fully elongated as a frill like we see some origami models, but it's still kind of hard to tell here um, because of how it's folded in and it's kind of wrinkled. Um, so just some execution points taking it away. We do have, it looks like color change for the belly on the underneath. This looks really cool. But again, I don't like this paper in the background. Like I'd rather just have this book, be there, not this crumpled piece of paper that's partially folded already. Um, so I think the presentation of it just is probably will take away some votes. But yeah, uh, almost nicely done. Almost nicely done is I think what I'll say. Okay, and let's get to the third submission, which is by Silver Paper, and that is, I think down here. The blue lines are pleats you make before starting to fold to make the shell plates. Oh, let's take a look at that crease pattern here for what Jared said. Did someone ask about the auxiliary lines? Oh, not that. Here. Sapien makes it look clever like BP. Is that turtle 22 and a half? So yeah, it's I mean, you can use like the box plate level shifters, which is what you see here. In 22 and a half, it's not, it doesn't make it box plate. It's just because like if you do a sync fold and a bird base, you can get a full pleat. And a pleat's a pleat, right? Box pleating is just a lot of pleats, and but you can still have pleats and non-box pleat models and still do stuff like that. So that's what it looks like. But yeah, these are the yeah, okay, that makes sense. These are the pleats you make before the shell. Okay, let's go to the other one. Thanks for pointing that out, Jared. Okay, here we go. Silver Paper, the Philippines sailfin lizard. Now, this one's box pleated, right? This one's definitely box pleated. You'd see it everywhere. Okay. Here we go. So this is pretty neat. We have, I think the defining feature of this is the spines. I'm guessing this is the sail fin of the sail fin lizard, or maybe this is the sail fin part of the sail fin lizard. Either way, the structure is pretty neat to have both this spike layer using like the Ryujin spines or the Issei Yoshino pleats as spine spikes, and then the sail fin part of the tail here. This is really neat. Paper choice I think works pretty well. It's some kind of textured paper. I think it both works and doesn't work for this model. Overall, this model is really cool. I think it's decently shaped. I think there are still execution issues just regarding some of the crinkles here that you start to see from this paper. So what I can tell is there's a start of some pleats to like get where the folds of the legs or the hind legs or the thigh start, but at the same time it keeps the crease here and it makes it distracting. So it's hard to actually tell on this front leg where the leg actually starts and if it looks correct or not. Also in the same way, we get like a little bit of this gap and a kind of bent tail, and it's like if the tail was just slightly more curved, just like kind of the rest of the model is, it would look a lot better. Overall, cool design. Very nice in general. But in a competition sense, is this going to outperform the Mata Mata turtle? Hard to say. Hard to say. But unique structure here. This is pretty cool. Overall, very nice. Very nice. All right, so that is that battle. That is our first 1v1v1. Now let's take a look at our second 1v1v1. And then after that, we have just one more battle. Okay, so let's take a look at this 1v1v1 first. This is the theme Indian mythology. And I might pronounce these incorrectly, so I apologize in advance. But we have Narasimha, and I think this is Devant Shah. And then we have Nataraja, or Nataraja, which is a dancing Shiva designed by Paul Origami. And then we have Shiva by Chris, Origami Chris. You guys know Chris. So these all three of these designers are insane. So this is, I think, the most stacked battle. For one, it's three insane designers. So it will be sad that unfortunately two will have to be eliminated in this round. Um, but it's really cool that we got to see such a high level of designs in this battle. So let's take a look at these. Let's start with Devon Shaw, who so happens to be an OBB competition champion for the Bodo horse. This is the wrong channel. Okay, so let's go. Let's take a look at Devon Shaw's submission right over here, I think. Okay, here we go. So Narasimha fits the theme, Indian mythology. I think it's a sort of like lion head or type mythological character, and then a humanoid body with traditional clothing underneath. And this is really cool. I think my favorite part about this is the head here, right? We can really see, let me look at the photo with the zoom. Like, look at the detail in the snout. For example, we have the nostrils in the shape, and then the front part of like the lips. They're all really nicely defined. And even just the slight bits for the eyes, it works really well into the rest of all these layers that make up like the mane, the flowiness. Yeah, this part is so good right here. It's so good. Devansh, if you're still here, like, really good job on this section. This is crazy. The rest of it too is really nice. I think this photo unfortunately reveals that the torso is really two-dimensional. So you do not get much volume here. And we can kind of see that in the back. So with everything else in this model, or at least from the, I would say the upper portion of your design, and even like right over here, has a lot of volume. You're missing the torso volume. So like if we didn't know, right? If we look at straight on, looks fantastic, looks crazy. This angle of the photo, you can see the lack of the shaping here. So kind of unfortunate there. I wish it was a little bit more 3D. Or not even just 3D. It had just the proper amount of volume that matches the rest of the model. It would look insane. But it already looks insane. So good job. All right, let's look at the next submission, which is by Paul. And that is, did I pass it? Here we go. So Paul Origami is a dancing Shiva. So I'm not too familiar with Shiva, but multiple arms. So I think it's shared with Chris. I don't know if they're different, whether the Nataraja is different than the other Shiva. But 4 arms, 2 legs. We did that recently, right? But this is taken to the next level. So this Shiva not only has some decorations for the headpiece, but in the hands, it's holding stuff too. So in this hand, holding something. This hand is holding something. And overall, the body is like kind of crazy. We have some pleats for some details. And knowing Paul, I think the structure is actually pretty simple. So maybe just using, bird bases scattered around. And then just what Paul likes to do is he calls it sketching. So he's just kind of free flowing, adding some structures to probably get the fingers and the details into torso and all this sort of stuff. Maybe using graphs or who knows, but it's a very Paul style piece where like you can tell the face, especially here, this is just shaped in. This isn't like, oh, you structured a neck with a river and a flap. It's like, okay, this is one flap that Paul converted into the neckline, the head, the ornateness in the back. And it works. It really works. And Paul's good at allowing that kind of folding to still have form. So we still have like this nice curvy structure in the body that is, it's proportionally correct. Same thing with the thighs to the knees to the feet. I would say the ankle area and the calf area is missing that proportion a little bit, but you can still tell where the knee is. You can tell where the foot is. All very nice. And of course, the arms are well done. We have like the elbow here. So even if you look really closely, you see some cool details. Yeah, so really nice, Paul. I don't know what Shiva's holding here, but I think this one looks really nice. I think this one you started to curve it. I wish these curves continued the same way. Got a little bit of messiness here, but I think that's just nitpicking. Again, this is a crazy competition, so I have to. But overall, very cool. I can tell at least what everything is. Very well done. And now let's check out our third submission for this battle, which is by Chris, which I saw over here. So this is just Shiva. And it's crazy. It's structurally insane. So coming from like juxtaposing Paul's structure of Shiva, which is, you can kind of see how it works. This one is the opposite direction, where it's a structure that kind of like hasn't been seen before. Like Chris is innovating in this battle with this round circle coming in the back of the entire model as part of the paper. This is crazy. So, sorry, my nose is starting to die again. I might have to go grab another tissue. I think my allergies are acting up. But let's try to get through this, and then I'll take a quick break. But yeah, let's see what makes Chris's crazy. So for one, this circle, I don't. It's okay. Let me see if I can look at how it's done. It looks like this portion is like a corner because they're not touching, so I can see that they're connected, but it's like the two corners of the paper that are thin that are just touching to make it look seamless. And then it gets thicker towards this area. So I'm assuming to do this with the all these little like paper. I don't even know what you would call these, like these little pleats that make up the holes, right? It has to be like on the edge and corners, and they're all really long flaps that turn into the circle, and then the rest of the structure is tied to that. It looks like even these arms is where it's coming from. And we strategically have the hand shaped to cover the joint at where the papers connect for those flaps on each side. So yeah, super, super cool. I don't know if this is an asymmetric design, but it would make sense if it's just symmetrical for the most part for this, because I think the circle in the back probably takes the most amount of paper in this entire model. It's crazy. It's crazy. It'd be one if it was just a circle. It's insane that it has all these little pleat things in the middle of it. Like that's just wild. So really cool. Pretty crazy by Chris. He even filled out detail for the abs here. We actually see this a very similar structure in these ab pleats as the other one we saw. I think they're done slightly differently, where instead of just straight up using the level shifters, here we have like the split in the gap, and then maybe something else going on to get these pleats instead of just using level shifters. But yeah, really unique. We have the torso right here, and then we have a face shaped in. So this is really neat. Chris has kind of used his face structure before. So signature Chris face, we have the eyes, the pupils, the jawline, we have lips, all structural. Very neat. And then I really like this ornate headpiece on top, and it just works really well with how the head is done. It all kind of just matches up, and it's got some pleats running through. Yeah, this piece is really ornate. We have also Chris foot structure we've seen in the past, which he's not folding toes like the fingers are folded. It's just like textural pleats, and another pleat to make the toes. Very nice. A lot of level detail. This calf is super good, I'd say, compared to the other models with calves. I like that. It's got volume. Things are lining up pretty crazy. Now, Chris did something differently than other models, which is to use this black base color with like a metallic paint dry brushed on top. So it's a technique that we've seen in some other models, and it's used here. I think it accentuates a lot of the features and works really well for these details. But will people dock it for being painted on afterwards? Probably not. I think it is a very strategic move here. It kind of gives Chris a visual edge in his presentation, and it just makes things work. Like if he didn't dry brush the headpiece, it would be harder to see all those details that he kind of folded into it. Um, yeah, overall, really insane. Nicely done, Chris. We can see a close up here. Yeah, Chris has just been pushing his levels a lot recently. So if you've seen any of Chris's recent designs, they're all pushing different structural or shaping or conceptual kind of levels. And I love seeing that in origami. Um, Now, I know I talked, I think, highly of all three of these models. I have no idea who's going to win this battle. I think it could be very close, especially as a 1v1v1. That already splits up the votes between models differently than just a normal battle. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. And it'd be really sad to say goodbye to some of these talented folders. But yeah, that's crazy. This is a really insane battle right here. All right. And we have our last battle. Last but not least, we have also a pretty stacked battle right here. We have Dex, who I don't know if Dex went to sleep. Maybe I should have reviewed this one earlier when he was still here. But we have Dex versus Anise, and I you've heard both names in this stream for sure. Obviously, Dex is into streams a lot. Shout out to Dex, also a YouTube member, and featured in I think the past New York convention vlogs quite a bit. I am extremely impressed how much design knowledge Dex has been able to pick up just from either talking with folders and just trying on his own. He's went from not understanding too much and just using like graph paper and notebook paper to design to really understanding design components and how to put things together and how to put together a crease pattern, and at the same time developing his shaping skills. So let's see some of that. Anise on the other end has a really unique style, which is really hard to find in origami. People say they might have styles, but Anise really has style. Like it's his style. And you've seen the piece I've purchased from him that I'm very, very happy about. So yeah, both two talented folders. Let's check out Dex's fold for. Oh, Dex is still here. Let's go, Dex. Okay, we have here. You said use this for folding. What was the title again? It is Building the Future versus One for All for One. And the theme is quotations. So this theme is a wild. This is very subjective to anything. Quotation. So in this case, it's like I think taking just a concept, like maybe a famous quote or something that people say, and building on that to create something. So that's really cool already. Here we have Dex's submission. Building the Future. So we have this is a 2-in-1. It's almost a 3-in-1. Where we have two people in Dex. Correct me if this is wrong, but I think this is showing there's like some famous photo of people constructing like a building, and then the workers are like sitting on the beams while the others are working, and it's like they're just relaxing like way up in the sky, and it's kind of crazy. But like that's how all these modern cities have been built. It's like on the backs of these people. And so at least that for me, that's what I'm getting a lot right here. And that's really cool. We've got the guy doing the work building over here and the other dude chilling out on the construction. It might not be the big beams and stuff, but it's kind of, it's maybe like a wooden plank or something as they're working. Child sitting on a constructing flying chair. Oh, okay. So kind of the same thing, like something's being built with someone sitting on it, resting, right, while the other one is building it. So quite literally, in this case, it's using the motif of a child as like the future, and then the other generation filling into that. I like that. That's really neat. But here we have faces on both. We've got a lot of detail going on in the background. I think for you, Dex, what I wish to see is just a little bit more execution here. So you're getting a lot better at shaping for sure, But this guy right here kind of has the long body syndrome going on, and his shoulders just are a little bit too above compared to where the neck and body want to sit. Like, I get you're trying, and this is really hard to do, is have shape a person with like the arms in that position. um it's, yeah, with normal box flea flaps it's really hard to sell that. So you just might need to like think about the structure in order to get those shoulders in place so that the arms can work like that. But overall, very, very cool. Yeah, I think it's really neat, and keep it up for sure. um let's take a look at the next submission, which is Anise, which is the all for one for all, I think is what it was. Kind of like the phrase building our plane in the future. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There are other photos if you scroll up, as well as the description. Okay, let's see. Okay, thank you. Actually, here, let's look more at Dex's okay, so here we can see some of the back. So structurally there's a lot of good details, like closed back. Um the Masu box is not part of it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Here's the flying part of the flying chair. That's really cool. This is the back of the chair here. Um oh, there you go. And we have in the hand of the person holding a construction tool. I'm not too sure what this tool is here, but looks like some sort of tool. Um yeah, really, really nice decks. Yeah, once again, it's just a proportion thing. You'll learn this over time. In this case, the arms are like longer than the legs. Um, but keep it up. This is conceptually like, I was not doing this when I was your age at all. Not many people are. So very good. Keep it up. Okay, let's look at, okay, here you go. Anise, one for all for one. Okay, famous quotes by famous people. Okay, each sheet corner of the sheet corresponds to a character. Okay, so in this theme is referencing the Three Musketeers, I believe. So our D'Artagnan, the bravest, Porthos, the robust, Aramis, the most spiritual, and Athos, the mysterious. To draw a parallel from the quote by looking at only view where you can see all four of them above, you can see the Musketeer cross. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, honestly, I did not know that about this view. I was wondering why he showed this view, but it's, I think this is the Musketeer cross right here. Um wow. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Anise is cracked. Um each character is vastly different, including one with a sword. Um so I don't even know where he started in this crease pattern. If you've seen some of Anise's crease patterns, they also kind of look insane. So yeah, I have no idea what structure actually makes this up. Um, wow, yeah, I'm kind of speechless, to be honest. This is actually wild. I think like this part is connecting them. So there's more to connecting them. It's not just like one river. He's using part of the cloaks and the hands so that he doesn't have to like actually have long flaps for every single arm. It saves a lot of space here. So yeah, there's some kind of genius level structure to to make this work. Um, and then Anise did what not a lot of people did here when working with humanoids, which instead of trying to lean into like looking anatomically correct, or even like well put together or something like that, he kind of made caricatures of these people. So in that case, proportions matter a lot less. Now it's hard to actually sell that. Like, you need a good understanding of anatomy and proportion to be able to do this. And so Anise obviously has that and is able to go beyond. So in this case, like for these faces, they're much more characterized. There's exaggerated features to them, exaggerated expressions, and it's not trying to be correct like a human, you know, super realistic stuff. And it works really well. And it's really hard to do this. It's so hard to do this. But it comes through and it works really well. I think the hats are super unique. Hats are also really hard to do with the amount of paper you generally have with origami. But it works super well here. So Yeah, I there's not much more to say than this piece is crazy, and I would buy this piece if it were for sale. This would be one to have. This is ridiculous. Um, so yeah, this battle both between Dex and Anise is absolutely crazy. So big shout out to both of them for putting on a insane battle of like high levels of complexity. Yeah, crazy. This is like when you did the four nights from on paper, but really well thought. Yeah, my four nights was not well thought out and not very high execution. This is well thought out with insane execution. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed seeing round one of the Origami Dance Death Battle. And if you're into Discord, make sure you vote. You know, give a lot of praise for the people participating in this death battle. It's not easy to put yourself out there and try to go against someone. You know, it's probably one of the scariest things you could actually do in origami is to intentionally be judged against someone else in front of the public, right? So big shout out to every single person who is participating, and you can find all their informations probably from their Discord accounts or if you know their Instagrams. So go give them some love. Let them know even in like some of the chat channels how much you enjoy their designs, and make sure to vote. We want to see who wins. But yeah, with that further ado, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so that stream's still going. That's just for YouTube. I think that'll be the outro. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. This was round one of the Origami Daring Death Battle. It is fun to see it with all of you. Um, yeah, we got to notice some pretty crazy stuff, right? But with that, that is the end, I think, of the main content for this stream. Let's go back over here and get up our stream schedule. So normally the main content is like the middle section of the stream, but in this case, the beginning was the main content. But for the rest of the stream, I still have some time. So we're going to get to some origami folding, some shaping, and I'll just be answering questions and chatting with y'all as you go along. And then maybe I will show this new design test fold that I have listed. Before then, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to grab some more water and hopefully fix my nose from all these allergies that's making it itchy. So hang on tight. Why don't you guys go get some water as well, hydrate, take a quick break. I'll be back in like 3 minutes and we'll move on to the next section. All right, I am back. Uh, Chris is crazy. Yeah, true, true, true. See the crease patterns. I'm reading some of the chat. Let's see. Yeah, Dex, good job, Dex, for sure. So very. I want to see the crease patterns too. Yeah, man. I wish everyone would share it, but I understand and agree with why we won't see some of those crease patterns, and it's okay. I mean, some of them might not be possible. Like I'm pretty sure Paul probably doesn't have a crease pattern written, or if it is, it's like it doesn't represent what he actually folded and shaped at all. Um, so that very much could be the case. Dex posted his crease pattern. Oh, let's see Dex's crease pattern. Where did you post it, Dex? Is it in crease patterns somewhere? Okay, here's the general Grievous crease pattern. 48 grid. Just with the packing. Oh man, some of these are wild. Um, Here's maple syrup's carbon crease pattern. That's crazy. Concept was ambitions. Your execution was not. Yeah, true, true, true. Good job. All right, I have to scroll up. I mean, I think I've seen it already from the other server, but we'll share everyone for here. Um, this is Reza's crease pattern. Very nice. Here we go. Okay, so just the packing as well. This is building future. So we can see here, these are the two figures. And then here we have the other variety of flaps that make up the rest of it. So asymmetrical, a lot. We've got this whole section out, and then these aren't even like in the same realm. So very cool, very cool. What grid is this? Dex? It looks pretty big. Is this 64? MJJ's crease pattern also looks like, yeah, that's true. 28 grid with partial 1/12. That's wild. Has alpha intersection should have folded a little bit different. Yeah, that happens a lot. 68. Ooh, wow. Wild. 68 grid. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so we are ready to begin the next part of this stream. So let me actually let's go here and then go here so we can see Ori edits. Okay. This is the new design I'm working on. Maybe I should explain this first. Maybe I should. Well, I don't know. Okay, I'll show this first. Maybe I'll work on it if I get tired of shaping. But this is the new design I'm working on for the test fold I showed earlier. And we go here. Do I have an Ori edit here too? No, I don't. Okay, we'll just flip back and forth. So this is the torso I tested. So it's got a lot going on, but it's all this is just this. I just needed to make sure this worked. So this character, let me find a photo. I think I saved it here. So the character in Honkai Star Rail's name is called Sam, or Firefly. That's kind of a spoiler. Oops. Image is not, it's too big. Transform, stretch to screen. No, that's not right. Transform, fit to screen. Okay, the image isn't working. Let me just show from my phone. There's one unit things color changes. I don't know yet. I kind of just wanted structure and then the ability to level shift um the knees. So you'll see why. So this is the character. It's actually a mech suit, which is a little bit different than what I normally do. But in order to have the mech suit, like I need structural details to be able to have the armor plates overlap each other. So there's one unit flaps. Ideally, make this, but there's a lot of room so that if I level shift it out, I can have the center part for this area and then use the others on the edge for whatever, or wrap it around or use it for the pleats. Ideally, I need to test fold the legs as well just to make sure I can actually do this. And then I have some more flaps towards the foot to be able to do like that thing. Because in order to make this character look like this character and not like some random suit of armor, I have to be pretty close, I think, on some of these details, like especially in the torso. So this bottom of the torso is this, right? And then the structure on the crease pattern, this is just for the bottom of the torso. I have a flap coming on top of this that forms the top of the torso. So basically, this section is going to be coming from the top so that I can actually overlap the rest of it correctly and not have you see like it's not just this, right? It's something more, and I can add all these lines. So the helmet, I kind of just blocked out the structure. I need to figure out a way to do that too. Maybe I color change it. I probably don't because I don't have too much time, but I do have this whole section for the head, which is a lot of room. And I just need a 3-unit neck and then space. So technically I don't even need this area. It could just go all the way up vertically. So there's a lot of vertical space for that helmet. I just have to figure it out. And then, yeah, here's this 2-unit flap that's, I can, again, turn it into other things, but it's going to be what covers the front area. I can even like split it like this so that the center one isn't as thick and it can make that triangle shape. And then the flaps on the outside form around it. Who knows? But I should have enough space with this to test fold it, I think. And then like this section, I just blocked it because I'm wanting to level shift out. And I think this will give me enough space for the foot. So the legs are actually pretty long in terms of the flaps given, but I'm doing more detail in the foot. And then in some of the knee areas that are going to shrink down the legs to a normal size. And then up here, I don't know what to do with the arms yet. I just blocked in kind of an arm structure. So what I know is I need to do shoulders, and I at least need 2 units for those shoulders. I don't like how much extra room there is here. So in this scenario, what I did is I did a river meander to make that part less thick, and then I can traverse it, the rest of the flaps, into like the thin stick back area. But I have space basically to add details. I just need to figure out what I'm actually doing. 14 Katsuri, hello boys, just joined on. What's going on? We're transitioning out of reviewing the death battle into the next stuff. Right now, it's, I guess I'm kind of did the schedule backwards. We're showing the new design, but then I might go back and just show the shaping of the other one. Yeah. Video game. Okay, I think I answered those questions. What's the grid? This grid is 36. So it's really funny. I've designed 2 other characters from the same game, and they're all 36 grid. Is that great? So this is a 36 grid. The nice thing is I don't have to do any like weapons this time, just fingers. So it's a lot more manageable. Structurally, like I can do it symmetrically. It's thank goodness. The Tingyun was kind of wild, and the Kafka was not ideal, but this one is easier. Dex gonna head to bed. Oh, it is late for you. Thank you for staying up, Dex. Big shout out to Dex for competing in the death battle. Very nice, good job, and have a good rest. And keep working on tilted grid design. So everyone, look forward to Dex's new tilted grid design coming soon. Jared, oh, probably no frogs in this game. Ignore frog suggestion. I'm trying to think. Is there a frog in this game? So this game actually has Obelisk. His goldfish is in the game. Like the actual design of his goldfish is used in the game. So there's goldfish. There's origami goldfish. There's also origami cranes, which, of course, I don't know. There's frogs. Wait, what? Yeah. Let me try to find the splash art that shows it. I would open the game right now and go find it, but I think everyone would leave. So. Okay, here's the official splash art for one of the characters that came out recently. And I've zoomed in on the goldfish. And this is Obelisk goldfish design. I don't know if you can tell from the picture. Obviously it's rendered a little bit, but it is the Obelisk design. They used it with his permission. Or he worked with them, basically. Can't see anything. Okay. Oh, it's yeah, you can't see anything. I was in studio mode. Okay. Let me show it again. My bad. There you go. So this character came out and there's like goldfish, right? So obelisk goldfish. And there is like a theme of origami in the game for some of the other at least for the location that the character was in. So it worked out. I guess it worked out. Oh, made it front. Yeah, no, yeah, he made it for the. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, obelisk is cracked. The connections go deep. Yeah, super cool. Super cool. What game is this? This is Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail. If I do end up streaming it, it'll probably just be on Twitch, but we're not to that point yet. But it's the same collaboration I did with Mr. Pokey. Same game. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to share with this model so far, this design. Let's go to this one. So we're folding this guy again. But let me show this. So I'm trying to think. I really want to leak the collaboration I have with this, just because I think it's cool. But I think I'll save it for when it's closer to being done, so that I can. I think it'll be special that way. So what I'll leak is that I'm folding these, and you can kind of see what they look like before they're all together. But I will wait for the video to come out to surprise all y'all, because I think the video will be pretty cool when it comes out. But let's work on another one. So there's going to be 7 in total. This is number 7. This is number 1. And I think this will be number 2. Honestly, actually, from the reference photo I show, it might leak it a little bit, but none of you probably know this person that I'm collaborating with, so that's totally okay. But let's fold this out really quick, and I'll just do Q&A, and I'll be reading chat a lot. So ask away. If not, I'll just kind of ramble about stuff. maybe what I'm folding. But this does have to do with like flips. So the fact that I do flips, which I'm really happy I've been integrating my flips in with Origami, and that it's getting views and stuff. So it's kind of fun. I've mostly kept them separate for a while just because I couldn't think of a good way to use both of them together. But now it's working out for presentation and adding some spice into my videos. Very important question. Do I like cheese? I do. I love cheese. I'm not a big fan of blue cheese, but like cheese plus meats in general are pretty awesome. Or cheese with like I don't know, a dish or a salad, or like mozzarella with tomatoes. That's good stuff. Yeah, big fan of cheese. Cheese with soups. In Oregon, we have good cheese. Jared, have you eaten at Lardo's sandwich shop much? They have, well, for one, I really like their tomato soup. They put a bunch of like Parmesan in it, and you have the tomato soup with grilled cheese, and their grilled cheese is insane. But before that, they had like a birria grilled cheese with a consomme dip. Oh man, that was so good. Um, Lardo's is good. Yeah. It's crazy. All their cheese selections in the sandwiches are top notch too. What paper is this? This is okay. So I was spreading misinformation last stream. I called this $2 Wenjo. I was promptly corrected by Yuho that Wenjo is only paper made in the city of Wenjo. So it's specific to that company in that city. But it is a Zhuan rice paper, which Wenjo is also a form of rice paper, just different process. But this one is in the category of Zhuan paper, which it is meant for calligraphy. So it's similar. It's actually very, very similar. It's a little bit thicker. I think it's still technically considered a mulberry paper as well. But this one is like 35 GSM versus the normal like 30 or 25 GSM Wenjos, or rice papers. But this roll was $2. So it was a 35 centimeter by like 10-meter roll for $2 on AliExpress. And I'll take it, man. I'll take it. So this cheap Zhuan stuff works. Yeah, it works. It's pretty decent, I think. For you're not gonna fold anything crazy complex with it, but anything that would be folded with 35 centimeters will work very well for this. So I might actually take this paper like to the origami convention if there's a model I want to fold. Like maybe if Chris is teaching some humanoid model, I think this paper would be great for taking that class. Because like it's like I don't know if you can hear it. It's crispy, right? This paper is pretty crispy. The shaping holds really well together. So I'll show you when I do these knees, but I didn't really have to use any MC for this, except for just like on the edges of the layers to keep it from creeping outwards. But like all this, it just holds really well. So it's easy to use. It's easy to treat because it's thicker too. You don't worry about the paper dissolving or tearing as much when you're working with it. So it's like it's a pretty, I don't know. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. It's not like better than other papers, but as a economy paper, it's pretty good. It's hard to get better for the price. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to test if I can weld this paper together with another one, and then make a like 60 centimeter plus or 70 centimeter paper and see how well it works. Now I'd probably have to weld it with like tissue paper because welding it with itself is too thick. But if I can fold, something more complex with it because it's in a larger square, totally worth it. Totally worth it. So I think to get Wenzhou right now, like the real Wenzhou, it's more expensive than it has been previously. At least for West Coast America. Spot. Mozzarella with nearly anything. Okay, that's fair. Mozzarella with literally anything is good. That is true. Origami gymnast. Kind of. It's not quite a gymnast. This the form that I am using as a reference is not gymnast technique. It is a tricker technique that's been optimized for standing double backflip and really aesthetic backflips, basically. But definitely not gymnast standard or gymnast technique at all. Mark has to go. Thanks, Mark, for hanging out. Glad to see you as always, and I hope you take care. Good practice paper is where it's at. Yeah, Jared, I'll bring some the next time I see you, if you know what I mean. Very soon. So you can feel it out, just kind of see what it's like. But yeah, I think the moldability is pretty great. Now, to be fair, I haven't folded anything with it except for this design. So my knowledge is like it's still subject to change, or my complete review is subject to change. But I think I mentioned last time, originally my plan was actually to stock this using Amazon fulfillment, so that it's really cheap for anyone in the States to access this type of paper. But the Amazon seller fee would not be worth the small revenue I would get, the small margin basically for selling this paper. So even if I sold the rolls for $10, it's like the Amazon seller fee per month, and the estimate sales that I would get is like I'd basically be losing money still. But I bought this as test just to see if it was even usable, and it's definitely usable. Definitely usable. This isn't the same before that used on no. This is a different one. Wasn't that Legion? No, this one's not Legion. It feels similar to Legion Mulberry, but at the same time, it's a bit different. Legion Mulberry, I think, compresses a bit more, so you can do a little bit more complex stuff with it. But it's not too far off. It's not too far off. The shade of white is also different than Legion's. Have I seen your Origami Dragon Pleat Armor Assassin? If you sent it to me on Instagram, maybe I've seen it. But if you want me to see it, DM me on Instagram and I'll take a look. What's the shipping price? From AliExpress, it wasn't that much. I think it was maybe $5 or less. But it would have been that same, like between $5 US to $8 US if I bought like 10 rolls, or maybe 10 rolls would be more. But like basically, it's not much. It's not much shipping. It took a while to arrive though. I think it took like a month to arrive. Wonder if it's dyeable. It definitely feels dyeable. I mean, it's calligraphy. Most calligraphy papers are okay with dyes, with ink dyes, just because calligraphy is ink, right? But you can get some in try. I have not tried, so I could be completely wrong. Yeah, Juon paper. I tried a sheet of Legion once that Chicken brought to Chicago, and I really liked it, but it was small. So, I see. Yeah, the Legion stuff's nice. If you come to New York, I'll bring you a big sheet if that's enough to convince you to come. Or maybe if I go to Chicago next year, I'll try to remember. Or I'll probably hit you up beforehand if I do decide to come to Chicago, and then like we can sync if you need anything. But that would be fun. I think I might be able, it depends on my travel schedules for next year if I can make Chicago or not, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. You better come to Chicago. True. It's on the list because I haven't been there before, especially. Okay, so I kind of just collapsed that without explaining what it's doing, but I think y'all seen this collapse already, like twice, so it's fine. Jared, I love Chicago. It's free. I've never been before, so it'd be my first time in Chicago. Did you go? I don't think Jared went this year. I think Jared went. I mean, Jared can say. Jared knows what. What's up, Shangnara? Hello, hello. Chicago isn't happening next year though. Oh, is it? Oh, is it Peacock? Oh, that's right. Okay, so if it's not Chicago next year, I'll go to Peacock and then I'll go to Chicago the year after. I think you're correct on that. Every 2 years. Okay, okay. That makes sense. I think the one conflict would be CFC Vietnam is happening in 2 years, I think. So I'm more likely to go to Chicago than CFC probably. UK, yeah. So Jared was in CFC. Oh, it's in 1 year? Is it? It's next year? Oh, snap. Okay. Oh. Oh, right. CFC did like last year was Bogota. Okay. But yeah, I don't think I can go to Vietnam next year or wherever it'll be if it's too far away. It's unfortunate I couldn't make this one because I had the means to. I just timing didn't work out. I was in Texas. But yeah. I think I also want to try, at least this year, I'm going to try to go to Origami again if it's happening. I don't know how many years left Brandon has at MIT, but I think it'd be fun to go again. April 2025, VN, CSCN, VOG convention. Ah, yeah, that's it. All right, we can start the shaping. So, as for one thing, like with the head, like I can just do this, right? And it kind of starts to hold. So like you can do a lot of the soft shaping with like soft creases and you can really feel the paper working with you, not against you. And it's not going to rip in the middle because the paper is strong. So like whenever you have that for shaping, right? That's pretty nice. That's almost like you're using foil, but it's not foil. Right? There's a lot of tension in the paper you can work with. Kind of fun. Looked it up and it only shows up for New York. I honestly, because the New York convention is going on soon, I don't think there's probably any information about the future American conventions yet. By the way, I am going to New York, so sign up or registrations are live now, I believe. If any of y'all are thinking of coming, I'll be teaching the 14 grid version of this model there, and I want to try to teach one other model. I don't know which one yet. I might reuse an older one, or I'll create something really quickly to teach. But I should probably do that soon so I can register to class. Yes, you would need a better platform than Amazon for low volume selling. You would really only be doing it right now to help. Exactly. Yeah. And like, it's not even the paper people want yet. So like, I'm not even going to worry about that because what people really want is the 60 to 70 to 90 centimeter rolls for a cheap cost, not the 35 centimeter rolls. Like unless forging or welding the paper was like common practice and really easy to do, No one's gonna want to go out of their way to weld the 35 centimeter rectangles each time. Peacock in Sacramento next fall. I don't even think it's been announced officially. Oh, I'm going to that. Sacramento sounds good. Jared, I assume you're going to that too. We can have some more fun down there. I just show up and hang out. Valid. Um, do you know much in Sacramento? Like, what's there to do in Sacramento? Have you been there much, Jared? I definitely have not been there much. I'm folding that again. Oh yeah, so Shangnara, basically it's this is the first one. This is the second one. And then this is going to be this is the seventh. Sorry, this is the second. What you missed was the Origami Darren Death Battle review, and then I also showcased a new design that I'm working on, which is this one. But this is the current big project that I actually have a collaboration with going on. So I'm gonna try to finish it soon, so I can work on the other collaborations that I have planned. But yeah, we're going a little crazy here, low key, with how much collabs I'm trying to do with in the next 2 months. But the concept, or okay, this one, this number 2 is this. Okay, I'm gonna crop his name out so I don't spoil it. But it's a collab with one of my friends. He's actually very popular on Instagram. So maybe you've seen his videos before if they randomly popped up in your feed, but probably not. But it's gonna be a collaboration with him. He's got way more followers than I do, which is kind of cool, and he's really good at flips. So the concept that I'm kind of going with is that okay, I can do the flips, but he is a human flip. And then there's gonna be the stages of the backflip. I don't want to show how I'm presenting it yet. I'm gonna save that idea, but at least you can kind of get the concept of what each one is going for, right? And so I have to fold 7 of them. So I've prepped the paper for 6. So I need to make 1 more square of paper, and then I need to fold 5 more, including this one. So if I finish this one, then it's 4 more. So it's not too much to fold, which is good. I didn't want to do anything like crazy where I had to fold 7 like wild models. Like the collapse grid to collapse only takes around half an hour if I'm slow. Which I'm trying to be a little bit slow here because I don't want to mess up on one. They all kind of have to look the same. Friend used to live there. I know a couple breweries, but I've only been in Sacramento a few times. Andrew Hudson lives here. Oh, cool. Near Davis. I used to go there to visit occasionally when I lived in East. Oh, fun. I don't think there's much directly to do in Sacramento. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if there's any like food dishes they're known for or anything that would be fun to try while I'm there. But otherwise, I'm probably just gonna be at the convention doing convention stuff and hanging out with Jared and people, whoever's there. Interesting. Well, regardless, it should be fun. I think it would have been fun if maybe a little more fun if Vegas got chosen for the next one, but that's okay. Sac Metro has wow, so it's a pretty big city now too. Okay, so here's our knee shaping. This is where we begin. Now the Discord members, I showed them I actually drew like a little diagram. I'll show y'all too. This is kind of what I've been trying. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but this is at least what I'm trying to to do. Where did I post it? Maybe it's a work in progress. Nope. Crease patterns? Nope. Where is it? Let me see if I can search it. Knee. Oh, I made a post. Okay. So basically something like this, right? So you have our mountain fold, and then you do like a tiny little valley fold for texture on the top, and then you just have like the crimps going in, but then adjacent to the crimp and the mountain fold for the kneecap, you add a valley fold, and that lets you do the 3D crimp over there where it's curved, and then it kind of pulls down into the calf shape and then just down for ankle shaping. So I know that's kind of a lot, but that's kind of how it's getting this shape, which I am enjoying that shape of a knee. I think I need to study knee shape, just knees in general, a little bit more. Uh, I have a drawing book and it covers like all the human anatomy and how to draw it. So I need to study that a little bit more to understand knees a bit better. So I think my plan is I'm doing these three, and then I'm going to go look at that book, study a bit more, and then see if I can improve anywhere. But so far, this has been working fairly well for me, and I think it looks decent. Like I think these are decent knees. I think they're decent. But let me show how I go through them. So what I like to start with is that mountain fold where our knee is happening, and then the tiny little valley fold on top, which I kind of just use my fingernail to get some texture in. And this is another nice thing with this paper is that you can get that in there nicely. And then I start the side crimpy things. And it's just mountain fold from like a grid line down to the knee a little bit. And I just need this. This is where I have to set the width of the knee. So it matters a little bit on how far in I go, but I'm mostly eyeballing it as per what I did on the previous ones. Right, then we have the rest of it come out, and I just let that come out about 1 grid length, but not a whole lot. And from here, because I'm not fully defining the calf yet with these, so they can be a little bit smaller. And then from here, now I do the mountain fold for the kneecap itself, so the sides of the kneecap. There's one. And then the other one over here. Like that. And then from there, I want to put in that tiny little valley fold that just kind of exists between those two mountain folds. And it's just to set the crease memory. And then now with this crimp, this is going to change depending on the angle of the knee. But in this case, we're just kind of standing straight up. I'm going to complete the crimp here a little bit more. So it also has a place where the valley fold goes through like that. Like this. And then I can put the next part of the knee, which is this bottom crease thing here. What I really just need is the valley fold. And I don't want to pinch through the whole thing. I just want to pinch where it exists between the two mountain folds for the knee, like that. And then from here, I kind of just push the crease against my nail on the other side to start the curve. And this is kind of like mask shaping, where you're pushing a curve into a pleat like that. That way it starts to become like this. Is there any need to wet fold this? Not at the start. It's more just for cleanliness. And then I wet fold the arm positions. So anything that needs to hold its position, I'll wet fold that. So like maybe the hips here, I add some MC between the hips. But the great thing about this specific paper is that you don't need to wet fold this section. The paper is durable enough that you don't need it. And I mean, you can do this with Kami as well. Kami is durable enough to do this too. But now I'm setting like the calf folds here. And I want the calf folds to pass over the little crimp thing and hit the side mountain folds of our knee. Like that. And then because right now we have our knee like cantered that way, now I just need to hold that together and let go a little bit so we don't have a hyperextended knee. And that exposes that little bottom joint a little bit. And I want to try to keep it clean by pinching from the other side to make that exist a bit more. And then from here, now I can just thin out the leg to the ankle. And so after I do this, you'll see where the paper starts to creep out a little bit. And that would be something you fix with wet folding to keep it smooth. Because the paper will stretch a little bit when it's wet, and then you can hold all the layers together. Okay, so I probably need to angle the foot a little bit differently later, but you can kind of see the basic structure of our leg now. Probably also need to thin the calf a little bit more. And then this whole area over here, I can reuse that valley fold we folded earlier closer to the knee to kind of solidify the joint. But you see how this corner is a little bit crunchy? It's not smooth. So it's because some of the paper is starting to bulge out there on the crease. In order to fix that and make it smooth, I would wet fold it. So that's a little bit more smooth, right? It's still a little crispy on this one. I probably just didn't do too well, but that one is more smooth. And what you would do is you would take your MC. FTT2, hello, I just woke up. Guess I'll wait for the replay. All good, yeah. Our stream's probably almost done, but you can rewatch the review of the death battle. Or you can just wait for me to edit the video and release it, which I'll try to do this week or like tomorrow and release it next week. Okay, but basically you take a little bit of MC. So this is a pretty thick MC, and I don't need a lot. I'm actually gonna take a little bit less. Put it into layers where that little extra crispy bit is. I don't want the whole leg, just a little bit here to soften it, get a little bit wet. I'll try with bigger paper. Yeah. And then from here, like now I can hold that curve while it's wet. And even already you can tell it's getting a little bit smoother. If I can just hold it together as it dries and get that curve looking smoother. I've had a half pre-creased head empty on my desk for 2 weeks and keep forgetting to finish. You should the collapse is pretty fun, I think. You should try it out. So it does take a little while to dry. So I'm gonna let go of it and I'll probably have to fix it later. But I just wanted to kind of show the concept of how I do this. Okay, let's see if this ankle needs to be changed at all. Kind of just tuck in this corner and this corner. And then let the ankle push in a bit more. And then for the foot, so I'll probably wet fold the ankle as well later on, just to keep it a little bit thinner. I can fold in the tip so it's not as pointy and have more of a foot shape in an ankle. And then once this is all together, I just try to refold that mountain fold on the joint just a little bit, just so that the knee knows that that's the joint it should bend on. And especially if I need the pose with that knee bent, that's where it'll happen. So all of that for one leg. It's not too bad. I'll probably actually spend longer on it off stream, but not bad, right? Not bad at all. But like again, it's partially the paper's good and it helps with that, but you can practice this with Kami. Right? So like my first practice was with Kami. And you have to be a little bit more careful, but it's the same kind of folding pattern in concept. So this is actually the example I drew the diagram from. Right. So you can practice with. I think it's good to practice with Kami actually, because then if you use something like double tissue, or something thinner, then you know what to do with your fingers to get the paper to obey you. Like if you can get it to obey with Kami, you can pretty much get it to obey with any other paper. Like even printer paper is thicker, so it'll be easier to use. Like A4, that'd be a really good paper actually to do this kind of practice with. Kami will be harder. So yeah, not bad. Okay, so now with this, I think I'm gonna look at the pose. So we can actually have our leg pretty straight out. The key thing here is actually he's pushing his hips open on the jump. So the angle of the legs is actually more back a little bit. And I can do that by actually using this part that acts as our hips and bending that in a little bit. And when I do that with both legs, I think that's going to make our leg bent. So instead of using like this as a mountain fold to hinge it, I'm using the hip joint to open, and that'll make it more correct. And then the toe is also pointed, so I am gonna have to redo this ankle. I'm just gonna try to pull the ankle to a more pointed toe because he's pushing off the floor into the flip. So it's a slightly different ankle, like this. Right, so the toe's a bit more pointed, so coming off the floor will be like that. I'll have to pose it mid-air, so I'll have something holding it. So he's like jumping. He's got some like an inch of air or something like that. And then as for the torso, I might actually leave this unfolded just so that the back can be a bit more open like that. And actually what I did here is I added these little things here. And that lets me bend the spine just a little bit backwards. So I think we're gonna do the same thing here. And this I have to do before I wet fold it. So sometimes I'll wet fold the spine too to add structure. But here I don't want to wet fold it yet to lock it in place. I want to add this to make sure the back can bend a little bit. So I mentioned one of the advantages of this is that it acts kind of like a spine where you can turn it and twist it that way. You can't bend this way as easily, or you can bend forward, but you can't bend backwards as easily. But to bend backwards, you would just have to add this, and then you can start to, you get to add a little bend to it because the paper will open on that axis now, like this. And then this just covers it. So that will let my shoulders ride backwards a bit, like this. And for now, I'll use clips to hold it in place. Our face is actually still looking forward because on a backflip, it's good to look forward on your backflip to get height. It'll be something like this that we're going for. See how the back's arched a bit? And then from here, I have to think about how I want to do the arms. Because I want to show enough of the front, but if I just curve it like this, you're going to see like the hinge is non-existent. So what I might have to do is fold it this way. So you see some more of the arm. Use like a 3D crimp to bend it inwards. So like this. That way we get more volume in the arm. And then this becomes the hand, which I forgot to add this part. All right, and then that leaves the hand. We'll do the hand later. Oh, excuse me. Okay, and the arm is kind of similar, but I'm gonna match it to his reference on the other side. So his other arm is actually, it's still pumping the same direction, but it's slightly higher over his head. So I just have to angle, maybe it's a shoulder thing. and it'll be like a set, jump, flip. I'm wondering if I should actually have a stage between this and this. Like maybe, no, I think this is good enough. Jump up and then the start of the flip. But pretty cool, right? And with this, I can actually use some layers from underneath here to fill out the volume under the arm. I got 15 models on my desk that are like midway through. Yeah, that's relatable. Okay, let's see. It is getting a bit late on my end, so I think I'm gonna stop there. I think at least explained what I wanted to explain with this. Um, and I'll save the rest for another day. But at least this project is what I'm going to be working on. I still have quite a few ways to go on that. But yeah, I think that was a nice stream. So we did quite a lot today. I think talking about the death battles it took longer than I thought, but I think it'll be good. And I hope I can edit it down into a nice video for everyone else to watch. That'll just kind of be interesting. It'll just be fun to track the progress of the death battle because people are giving a lot of effort into it. But yeah, that is the stream, everyone. Thank you for coming along. I'm going to try to keep doing streams on Fridays, at least every week. But once again, I'm not here on Friday next week. So no stream next week, but we'll stream the week after. And I've got an exciting plan for that with the case video. So stay tuned for the next stream. Before then, look forward to more shorts, some more maybe work in progress photos, and some smaller pieces of content before the big ones. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thanks, Jared. Fun to hang out with everyone, and I hope you have a nice weekend. So I'll see you all later. Have a good one.